four-sided dive. Thy light fades dim and low. Done are the days of queries towering tall, and broomy dear his googled eyes forsworn. Look there he leans, forgotten cloaked in dust, while Mappo sulks his dark soul left unloved. Despite the crew's hard labor lifting him aloft, how oft they tried, and yet the vibe most fell. The tragedy of Mop that welcomed hell. Hark ye, the aimless din of opens cold, a cursed block, a sea block, born of dreams, rash with the hands that sought to summon marvels. Yet sighed the crowd, begone, benign block, and cease, cruel chorus of crosstalk crass and callow, a verbal salad, chaos of cacophony, croutons of lore, so rudely tossed and tainted that then were buried low beneath the fraught and feckless crunch of shard and maddened mummery. But here sits the deepest wound of all. Poor Liam, oh genteel, witty Liam, oh, who hosted only once ere now. Alas, for 30 turns have come to pass, and he twice alone was bid to wear the crown. Who fated him to draw these lots so ill? Why, twice? When he, a heart so true and keen, deserved 100 chances at the helm? An oversight of crew, burned out and bleary. A bit, or not a bit, that is in question. 'Tis villainy, I say, a foul disgrace, and my eyes turn to rain, my heart to ice. The dive had 4 sides, yet I hosted twice. 'Tis folly. Now our revels round to sleep. We thank you, critters, who did take the dive. For sure a show need not know what it is to know the hearts of those who take it in. Welcome to Four-Sided Dive. Let's do one final show for campaign 3. Welcome back, friends. It's so good to have you here. Thank you, Kyle, for giving me some iambic pentameter meat to chew on out of the
Kyle
blue.
Shire.
Real good.
That was
real
good. Even though I had no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Not sure I did either.
I got crouton lore, and that was that made sense to my brain.
Well, I did spend months in prep, so I'm a little disappointed in myself.
Wow. Little
Well,
summer
I thought
stock
it was
action.
great. Yeah.
Well, we've got so much to talk about tonight, so why don't we just get to it? We're going to begin with our typical discussion segment. What the fuck is up with that?
What the frick?
I get it. It was a metered poetry joke. I was there. I was there with it. I just chose not to laugh. Take that.
What the fuck is up with?
It's
with that?
It starts with the joke.
It's not really.
It doesn't work.
It's
If you cut the what, the fuck is up with that,
That is
then
my
you're good.
It's a good standard deviation.
The fuck is up with that?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything
We
that we're
don't do
about to be
questions
talking
on the
about.
show.
No problem.
actually.
Can someone break down iambic pentameter to me?
Sure.
Really?
yes. Absolutely.
Because I wasn't really like a Shakespeare kid.
You've
I
asked-
like it.
You've asked the right
Shakespeare's
people.
great. I have asked the right people.
Well, pentameter.
Okay. The pentatonics.
Don't
Pent means
mess this
5.
up, or the theater nerds are going to destroy us.
Right.
I'm your audience right now.
So pent means 5. Iambic, I think, refers to the cadence.
every line of Shakespeare's verse goes ba-da, 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 ba-da. So stress in those words almost exclusively, not 100% of the time. Yeah. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I.
Well, you're just
So-
showing off.
Well, but when they're not,
That's
it's
the
true.
most
It's
well-known
everybody
example of iambic pentameter there is.
And when they're not an iambic pentameter, usually at the beginning or the end, it's called
a trochee.
It's called a trochee sometimes, so it's called a standard deviation, which he often wrote in if you need a word that doesn't quite fit in. And these are divided via scansion, and each of those broken syllables.
Scansion?
Scansion is what you use to determine poetic meter, and it's interpretable, and you can add diacritical marks to scan a piece of text.
Those things?
Yeah, and it flows really well when it goes ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. However, the trochee is, some say, is when you really want to like jar the audience or like have a thought that sticks out. Instead of going ba-da, 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 it goes ba, 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 ba. There was a trochee or two in the cold open.
And I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Lear, he goes never, 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 never at a key moment when he's going bad. That's the opposite of iambic
Feels
pentameter.
jarring and
To
out
show
of.
that he's losing his mind.
It's also a way that you're able to essentially have the writer direct your actors, because if they also know how to read the iambic pentameter, you know the emotion that he's wanting you to convey by the way that the pentameter is broken up in these trochees, in the scansion and things like that, because it's essentially a way to have shorter rehearsal periods as well during this time. And he's just essentially saying, okay, I've given you this monologue, and via all of the clues I have left you within the actual way that it is written, I have told you how I want you to read this, how I want you to deliver it.
Nerds!
Nerds.
For my money, it feels good to say the words when they're in iambic pentameter. It flows off the tongue real well.
It's actually one of the closest ways of natural human speech. It mimics natural human speech.
Well, he has that whole like the one soliloquy, right? That's tripping on.
Speak the speech I pray.
Yeah,
thee.
speak the speech I pray you.
Speak the
Just like
speech I
that.
pray thee,
Trippingly on the tongue.
trippingly on the tongue. So, and it's like him writing an iambic pentameter to
Notes to
Danny's
the
point.
actor, I think is
Notes
what it's
to the
called.
actor, like how to say
It's in
it.
Hamlet.
And even worse, he doesn't always write in it. It can also mean character distinction. So higher class characters will often speak in poetry, but sometimes lower class comedic characters will speak in prose to separate them from the rest of the cast. Yep.
Your touchstones.
Back when
Touchstones.
Your
He speaks
porters.
in prose a lot. Your whores. Yeah, a lot
Your
of
whores
whores.
speak in
in Mackers.
Yes.
Oh man, good.
Mackers?
Coin that phrase. I can't even. Not gonna say it out loud. Nope, I'm not gonna say it. Blank speaking prose. Done.
Yeah.
I don't know.
back when Robbie joined us on EXU, I know you from the voiceover world mainly, and so I was like, oh, we're gonna get to know each other even more because we work in the same industry. But then pretty soon it became apparent that you were a big theater guy, which I just didn't know, and you and I spiraled. Spiraled down to the point where you invited me to see your friend in a show at South Coast Rep.
Oh, that was an experience.
Yeah.
Wasn't my friend great in that show?
He was great.
He.
So was
great.
the show.
And he was great.
South
it was
Coast Rep
fantastic.
was great.
It was amazing. What a great theater.
Everyone
cut.
should read some Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I stand by it.
I'm totally lost. What are we here to talk about?
We are going to find out what the fuck is up with.
Midsummer Night's Dream is a great starter. Sorry.
I can actively hear your editor's fingers cutting as we speak.
Well, they're making the prompter bounce.
You
to be like,
guys,
please.
the
talk.
Malice Key fight, am I right?
Forsooth.
Wow.
Yeah, we got to talk about the Malice Key, about rolling up with Vox Machina and friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy to be an asterisk. I'm good with it.
Me too.
You're a Toki? What is it again?
Oh, it's Circo. I don't know.
Marisha is a Toki. We were talking trochees.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, never mind.
Like,
I just spit. This is a great way to start. This is a great way to start. I swear.
a trochee. A trochee was the word that I was looking for.
No, I like the other one better.
How about it?
Not to be confused with chokey, which is another kind of theater reference.
That's true.
This theater stuff is just great.
Just great.
All right, so Vox Machina, back together. The band's back together, more or less, a little less. We've got divorcees coming together.
Yeah.
I only.
Divorcees and horses.
Oh,
Ooh, that's pretty good.
wow.
Thank you.
That's really
Thank you.
Almost
Trophy.
a rhyming couplet.
Yeah.
Wait. So I don't know enough about the lore, or did it happen off screen? There was Scanlan Pike, a little of this, and then they split.
It happened off.
It happened off
Yeah,
screen.
kind of a lot of it happened off screen. Like there was always a somewhat of a flirtation, I think, over the years, just as like us being funny. And then, because there were other very prominent romances happening
Yeah.
on
I
the
think
table.
that Pike was always the one for Scanlan. I mean, I think the
Yeah.
breadcrumbs were there from the tippy top.
Oh my god.
I kind of feel like they're always going to be, I don't know, dancing with each other.
Yeah. Star-crossed lovers.
Star-crossed lovers,
Boy.
if you will.
So much in your future. There's so much horseplay and divorce play coming.
That's good.
I'm into it. I'll give it a try. Yeah, it was always a, well, they won't they?
I could
They
see
did.
Pike and Scanlan being that couple where they're like, we're old. We don't want to be lonely.
Oh,
Yeah, should
like
just
an
live
arrangement.
together.
Like
Like,
if we're both unmarried by
yeah.
the time we're 63, we'll get
Yeah,
married.
maybe we'll get
Okay.
married.
Yes.
I really
I
extended
agree.
that to 63. I don't know how old those characters
Yeah.
are.
I mean, they're gnomes, so they'll
Oh yeah,
they'll-
good point.
Go for a
I
while.
mean, there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of time that they have
Yeah.
on Exandria to explore and to have fun with their lives. How long do the gnomes live? 500 years? Am I making that?
69 years.
69
generally.
years? All right, well, in that case.
Chutney is old for a gnome at 400.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
it's like between 400 to 500.
You
400
guys
to
are.
500,
How old
okay.
is
Yeah.
Pike? Ish.
Pike, I have no idea. Yes. How old would Pike be?
Never told me how old Pike is, babe. I got nothing for you.
She has scrubbed her birth date away from Google.
Yeah,
What is that we were all just talking
We
about?
were just talking about that.
I don't know. She's maybe like.
Are you gonna
What?
say it right now? You're just gonna wing it? You're gonna
No,
make
I
a
don't think I
canon choice for.
can. I'm too
I'm not
nervous
trying to
to.
stifle you. If you want to do it, do it.
Age is, I get mixed up with the
range? What is her
maybe like-
casting
maybe
range?
like in the late hundreds,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
maybe early 200s.
Late hunt. Oh.
Would that be like midlife?
You're an older woman then, I think, to Scanlan.
You
I
are
don't
an
think he's over 100.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
maybe not then.
Is I think 99, or right at 100,
Yeah, but
right
he's
now.
Oh well, then I don't know if she would be. They'd be around the same.
You want
age.
lore? Or do you want Scanlan lore?
Yeah, I think they would be maybe around the same age.
Okay. Fun.
Could just go with like a nice even 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She made it her centennial.
If you live that long, do we finally get to forget how old we are? Finally?
Yeah.
Is it a problem that I forget how old I am every other day?
I do too. When you hit those like mid to late 30s,
I've been wrong.
I remember I was like, I don't remember which number it is.
Yeah.
You're like, am I
Somewhere
37?
in
Am
there.
I 38?
You have to think about it.
I had a great moment a few years ago where I thought I was X years old, but I was actually 1 year younger than I thought. Was so happy that day.
Well, how long were you thinking about? Like, did you think you were older?
I think for a year or two, I thought I was older than I was.
What I
a
really
year,
like
probably a year.
doing, I
year.
like telling people that I'm older than I am.
Yeah.
Because then you always get the reaction of like, what? Oh. You look great. Because I always feel like people go the opposite. And then they're like,
Huh. Yeah.
I want to be like, I'm 50.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you look so good.
That's pretty good
I don't know.
tactic, actually.
Blatantly lying to my face.
Blatantly lying. It's a fun, thing to do.
I love stretching to 50.
I can do 50.
You could do.
You think you could play 50?
I think I could.
Well, you'd need some makeup for sure to get you there.
Well, I could make it work. Depending on what I'm wearing, maybe. I could do 50. I could be 50.
Oh
Let me
man,
live
this
my
is so
dream.
apropos to the
This
Malice
is so
Key
doesn't
fight.
any of it.
It
The Malice fight.
feels-
Did the fight go as everyone expected?
No.
Great. I am very happy with my choices, as controversial as they may have been at the time.
Are they
Yeah.
controversial?
Well, I did that earthquake spell, which
Oh yeah.
I thought that was clutch.
I think it worked out good.
Yeah.
Matt was like, yeah, if it would have gone down, you would have fucked everything up entirely. And I'm like, yeah, I knew that.
But it didn't.
But it didn't.
Didn't.
There was so much going on. I had a couple of moments of decision paralysis, I feel like.
Yes.
Where and also that having never had that build before, I wished I had some more long range mobility. Because the battle map was so big, I often felt like cloistered to a certain area, and it was hard for me. I would and everybody's so OP.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, I want to go help Grog. Oh, he's fucking killed everybody, and I spent my whole last turn. I'm gonna go over here. I felt like that until like mid-battle near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very satisfying to watch and participate in. I had a lot of fun moments, but like it was definitely I think that was my biggest challenge with like a build I'd never played before.
That's definitely like a level 20 combat issue.
Yeah.
And then also an 8-player table issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where and like Matt and plenty of good GMs will be like, know what you want to do by the time that it gets to you. And that's smart advice and all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
Until you're like, all right, I'm going to rush up and I want to help Grog. And then it changes right before your turn comes up.
You're
and
like, shit.
Well,
I gotta
with
think of something else.
20 level 20 players, a lot can change in
Yes.
6,
Oh, yeah.
7 rounds,
Constantly.
and you're fighting
yeah.
high level enemies. Like I'll just talk about it. 'Cause I had a combo I wanted to do that I never ended up getting to use the spell, and I knew like when you got so many things you can do, you're not gonna get to do it all. But like I had so many moments where I can't believe I did that when I flew into the carapace of the creature that was with the Grog was fighting. I have like an explosion, like one-shot move. And my plan was to fly into his butt and blow up. That's what I wanted to do. And then by the time I was like, oh no, chop his head off. And I'm like, well, fuck, now I'm stuck in a butt. You know, it's like, yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah.
Worst places to be. I didn't do any of the things I thought I was going to do. With Liev, she has these 2 rods. One was just for healing for free like crazy, but the other one I was going to plant it in the middle of the battlefield and was going to help everybody. But instead I ended up playing hide and seek and running to the back of the map. And then I knew there was the possibility of Vax hitting the field and coming out. And Vax, with his miniature, I should be able to take him from his starting point to the parking lot.
Right.
Because his mobility is ridiculous. He went 15 feet, and then the battle ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I get to fly.
And it's
And
Mine.
that's it.
But you got didn't you get kind of like Matrix born out of the goo too? In the beginning, you're just like a little fetus out there
Yeah.
to meet us.
He's been spinning in there rapidly for months.
he's a little scrambled.
It's like when you do the thing with a baseball bat and you spin around.
Yeah.
He's lucky he stayed on his feet.
But all that aside, it was fun. It was fun watching everybody do their thing. It was the combat. You guys play so fast too. Like even though it takes a long time between everyone, it really feels like things are moving.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That is good to know.
good to
It doesn't
hear.
feel like that.
By the way,
Yeah,
I have
sometimes you're
a
like,
limited basis for comparison, so please don't take that too much to heart.
Yeah.
Over the years, my notion of a round of combat is 6 seconds, which is technically the rules. That's not how I think about it anymore.
No.
It's too whack. It's
I
just we're just
also-
metering out what happens in the fight.
I don't think it applies to our group, the 6-second rule.
I mean, like from an imagination standpoint, but a mechanic standpoint, you're still abiding by the rules.
Yeah.
Like for how long spells stay up and all that
Yes.
stuff.
Just
but it doesn't feel
codification.
like 6
Codification.
seconds.
Yeah.
Because I think theoretically, I mean, that Malice Key fight was only like 5 rounds.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
it's like, oh, we did all of that. We killed a giant worm
Massive
beast,
extra
a giant
bug.
extra, and 2 extra bugs,
So
and
extra.
brought down 4 towers and busted out
Under a
Vax
minute.
in like 20 seconds.
I wanted to get out my old Skeletor toy and put him on the back of that bug and just play with my action figures. That bug was so cool.
The bug was awesome.
I didn't like the worm. It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah,
that's
that
where
worm
my fight
was-
journey
was-
ended.
It looked
Yeah.
like other things.
Yeah,
It looked like-
I said it
yeah.
out loud.
The worms always do. They always do.
Worms always make you a little uncomfy.
What else is on this menu?
Well, I mean,
Host.
one night. So after the battle ended and we got Vax out of the vending machine, I'll say one thing simply. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but what's on everyone's mind, what's on my mind most, is what's going to happen between Serkonos and Liev Tel if the world doesn't end.
Yes.
I think you can
Yes.
expect that Liev is going to get on his body. She lives with death, meditating on death so often that she fully enjoys life, and she has a very active sex life, and you are just
get
the
it, girl.
latest.
Oh,
Wait,
hey, latest
Sorry.
and
So much
soon to be
too.
greatest, just so you know.
you're saying Liev, like
But Serkonos
she's a little party girl. She gets around.
She enjoys living.
Liev, tell. Tell
She
us.
said about Bertrand when you showed him the wonders of the ages.
What's this, Danny? What's
You
this?
said something to Bertrand back in
Show you the wonder of the ages.
Yes, the wonder of the ages. Yes.
I mean, that's why she goes for silver foxes, is because
She knows that
she's
they
been
know the
around
gun.
so long, she is not putting up with any 20-year-old nonsense. She needs
She's not
someone
down to
who's...
She needs a
anymore.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
smart girl.
Down to receive.
So she just like clamped Bertrand's lips shut, and that was all that was needed. Oh, man.
Look, because he
Damn.
can do other things with his lips.
Just stop talking.
Well, that's not going to be a problem for us. The stopping topping
But I
part.
feel like Serkonos is really getting into the meat man. Scanlan.
Oh! I don't know.
What was your thing? What would Scanlan Shorthalt do? Was that it?
Oh, yeah, his little wristband.
Little wristband?
Yeah, what would Scanlan do? I don't know, that was just a pick on the fly.
It was so good.
I was literally, we built the character and I was like, okay, I gotta do stuff. And then as soon as like the idea came around that like you guys were looking for him, I literally just went, wait. Like if there's someone perceptive out there, you could probably see the moment the idea drops in my pea brain. And I'm like, he fucking loves Scanlan. He's got no charisma. It's everything he wants to be. He's already strong, powerful, everything that he wants to be. And it's like, there it is. I wish I could just tell a good joke and I can't.
Yeah.
I know this guy.
That's the thing.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
an archetype that I feel like we all know. That guy who's like boring as fuck, and then he's like, I love going to stand-up comedy on the weekends. And you're like,
and you're
what?
like,
Oh, okay.
I think
Comedy Bang Bang every Tuesday night. Let's
Started
go.
stand-up classes.
Yeah.
I think you called it out on the last dive, but one of my favorite moments of the last few games is just Vex with Pike going like, yeah, Serkonos, if Pike were available, you'd hit it, right? No.
Yeah.
Lightning fast.
So
Lightning fast.
Yes. So good. It was so good.
Oh, man.
But
Well,
I also forgot Serkonos was such a looker.
yeah, he's a
When I
hottie.
re-saw I was like, oh my god, I forgot that that's what he looks like. Which
you
is
know, those
hilarious.
druids
yeah.
Druids, man.
I mean,
just live a long time. We don't age, you
Yeah.
know.
you made the
good.
mistake of allowing me to communicate directly with your artists. So there's 0% chance I'm not gonna make a hot. Yeah, I'm outed for what I
I mean,
like.
to be fair,
Fit right in.
I would say, I mean, of course, over time, we have our like our knots and we have our like laudnas, but let's be honest. 80% of the reason you play D&D or other tabletop RPGs is so you can look hot.
Yes.
I made the hottest halfling I could.
Like,
Yeah.
you want to look hot.
Yeah, I agree with you. You want to just be the hottest you can be.
Laura Bailey, I think somewhere we still have an email for first
Just hot.
Vex art. Just
her hot.
make her hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Well, good. Nobody sent me the memo, but I'm glad I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Because
fun.
it's in your gut. It's in your DNA.
Yeah,
you
you
know.
We should, as trepidatious as I am about it, we should probably talk about the question mark that is hanging in the air at this moment, not knowing what the final musical notes of this song are, which is Vax is plopped out. Boy, I had no idea what was going on in that moment.
Yeah.
So he's here, hovering for a night. We don't know if the gods are going to be gone. We don't know if the gods are going to be dead. We don't know if the status quo is going to remain. So,
The most heartbreaking part of that whole game was when we finished everything and then just looking over at Keyleth, Marisha. I was just like, I mean, we talked about this the other day, but I wasn't thinking that was going to be her reaction. And then just the whole end of the game, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't come across as an overreaction on my part.
No, because it didn't, because it was so
grounded.
To me, it felt so grounded and so real. Because it was just like, it was a moment of, oh, that's right. Like, they haven't had all this time together and they're getting this one night together. And like, how could you just, of course you would be excited, but also devastated and ugh.
It was the moment
Killed
that Matt said is like as the matron of Ravens. It was the moment that he was like, one night. That I was like, fuck. But also, of course, and once again we've talked about this, we don't know what the future holds yet. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm nervous even to like
To talk about it.
telegraph
that much.
what I feel or think
Yeah,
about it,
I know.
just because.
It's still playing out.
Yeah, it's still playing out, and I don't think there's one way that the story could end. You know, the matron sees a few different threads branching off in different directions.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what.
And she can't see yours. Your thread is hidden to her.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, Wilmot.
You know what it just randomly reminded me of
Yeah.
in the moment for the first time ever was back in campaign 1. I think we were in the Knowing Mistress's library, and the fact that in campaign, that was randomly how Percy and Vex's secret wedding plopped out into the group.
Yes.
And
Dawnfather Temple.
Dawnfather Temple
Yes,
where it was?
because I remember it
Okay.
vividly.
And Keyleth just cried out, and like that's such good news that they're married, but you in the moment said Keyleth cried out, and for a split second, Vex/Laura was so confused. Like, why it's happy news, and then you didn't respond, and I just was like, it's because that's not what's going to happen on our side.
Correct.
It's difficult.
I mean, it's shitty, right? It's like a shitty reaction because it's like jealousy, but it's pure jealousy in terms of just like, cool, good for you, so happy for you.
Yeah, you can't help but think about like, what
just
about
painted as
the one
sadness.
I love? Like, I didn't.
Yeah, just time being robbed, right?
Yeah.
It was also the fact that Vex specifically told Vax, "Don't run off and get married over the year that we're apart." And then she went off and got married while y'all were apart. There were a few things in there.
It's like great wrinkles and complications and contradictions, and that's what life
Yeah, I
is.
mean, it's juicy.
Very human.
Yeah.
And of course, like, and we've talked about this on the side, like, don't get me wrong, I love the tragedy of it. Like, there is something, like, very, you know, Keyleth's life kind of got, like, just kind of chosen as, like, a tragic one there after everything kind of happened with the Matron of Ravens. But maybe there's time to fix that.
I mean, Vax isn't playing shuffleboard.
No. But we'll see. There might be time to turn that around 30 years later. Woo!
Cool.
The fuck is up with that?
What the fuck is up with
Okay,
that?
we talked about one night. What now? I think we can move on to the Murdy Nerns at this point, right?
Murder nerd.
Birdie nerds?
That's just a suggestion. Y'all can talk about whatever you want.
Well, I mean, is there any questions you have, Danny Carr, about
Yeah, I
those
got
moments?
so many questions. But I am someone who, in general, I like to wait to see what happens. And I am the same way about, like, I'm literally sitting over here, like, about to, like, cry because of Vax and Keyleth. And so I would love to talk about the Mighty Nine. Otherwise, I will start sobbing.
Yeah.
Let's see, the Mighty Nine. Here's my question for the Mighty Nine. Why were you guys ragging on my tower the last dive?
Oh, you watched that?
Yeah, you said you had
Oh, no.
you said you had beef with me. Explain the beef. Where's the beef?
What did we say?
Another great reference for the kids.
They're gonna love it.
Uh-huh.
What did we say? I'm trying to remember. What did we say?
Well, you were mad about doors or lack. You guys were very confused
that's
about
right.
what actually exists in there.
You didn't have doors.
I
so
did have
everyone.
doors.
What
I
do you
spent.
mean?
There were 2 episodes in campaign 2 where I spent 2 hours combined explaining that place. I wasn't going to break down the architecture of the whole tower a second time. The second floor has 9 walk-in closets with doors that open up, and you can open them and say, give me a pile of potatoes.
So the walk-in closets have doors, but the bedrooms do not?
I just like to know that if you had infinite level 20 magic, your one wish would be a pile of potatoes.
The second floor is like the room of requirement. Whatever you need, you can have. Do you need archery targets? You got it. Do you need
Remember that.
lots of Legos to play with? You got it. Do you need sheep? You got it. You close the doors and open them, and they're in there. It's the one mutable thing in the tower that changes. Sam was
sheep
like,
alone in your bedroom?
you
You
can
got
just
it."
change anything you want. It's the tower. He has OCD, guys. It's like the tower is fixed in place. It doesn't change, just the trappings. You guys had a date on that second floor.
We did.
Doors opened up and a bar slid
We had
out.
a date everywhere.
Doors opened up and a
It
hot
was
tub.
everywhere.
All right, hot pants.
Yeah.
The second floor has 9 closets, and there were bedrooms inside the closets.
But I don't. There are bedrooms in the closets.
There are like 9 garages that opened up and gave you a bedroom.
So is it the size of a walk-in closet, or is it the
Yes.
size of a
Yes, large.
very large
It's the size of a garage, and there's 2 wooden doors that open and close.
a walk-in closet?
Danny has seen the like 15-page document that outlines.
But I think it's because in the show, I think you said, I think in CR you're just like, oh yeah, you guys are just all on like
You said something about curtains.
one floor and
I
there's
was talking
curtains.
about the 4-poster beds having black. I was making
I
shit up as I
feel
went.
like I remember the curtains thing too. I forgot it was the bed.
I think my brain was going to, in like Zelda, in like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, when you go into an inn and it's just
Curtains dividing beds. I think some people were imagining an infirmary situation where
Yes,
the beds
yes.
were divided by curtains.
Because
but
you
that
said
was not what
curtains.
you were trying to.
Super sexy and
On the 4 side, on the 4-poster.
on the floor.
Is what I meant. Whether or not I got it out right,
Theater of the
I don't
mind.
know.
It's theater of the mind.
You can't see my invisible, non-existent tower.
I have a very clear visual of what the tower looks like in my
I
head.
actually did too, and I'm not even one of those people that like, when I close my eyes and think of an apple, I don't really see an apple, I just understand the concept of
Wait,
apple.
you are one of those people? Or you're not?
I am. You know how some
You
people,
are one of those people.
Yeah, how some people like
They
can't
don't-
see
you
the
don't have a
apple,
man-
they
a
don't- or
mind's
some people
eye.
see the sketch, some people see black and white,
Yeah.
some people see a vivid apple. I'm not the apple guy. I have to like, I understand it
Yeah.
innately, but I don't see it. And I could see your tower.
I always find this
Or
people
understand
so
it.
fascinating.
I'm just happy to be there.
So wait, when we do
Yeah,
theater of the mind stuff,
yeah.
do you visualize it?
Oh,
do you have a holodeck?
A visual holodeck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I look up a lot because I am imagining,
Yeah.
but I don't imagine in a visual way. I just understand it. I don't see it in my
What
mind's
about in
eye.
the voiceover booth?
What?
In the voiceover booth, do you see visuals and surroundings and stuff when you're doing your thing?
No. I'm just 100% like in the moment in my mind. So like when you used to have an imaginary partner in theater, I would never look across the way and see a crying lover. I would just understand that a crying lover was there conceptually.
Yeah.
Is that weird? Am I outing myself too much as a certain kind of thinker?
No.
I don't know.
But there's a
Yeah.
there's a word, there's a term for these kind of
Sure,
people, and I
sure.
don't remember what it's called.
Aphantasia? Is that it?
Maybe.
I have the internet in my hand.
You don't have to diagnose me on the last episode of Four-Sided Die.
No, I find it
Oh
fascinating.
shit! I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, read it. What does it say?
Hang on.
Third-
Aphantasia is the inability to visualize. Basically, the way that this is described is that people have, on a scale of 1 through 5, can either see an apple like vividly and beautifully. On a 2, they can see like kind of a cartoon drawing of an apple. On 3, they see a black and white apple. 4, they see a cartoon outline of an apple. On 5, they see nothing. And I think that's what Robbie is describing. It's called aphantasia.
Yeah, but I have super vivid dreams.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Super vivid dream.
Very, very vivid lifelike dreams.
You're also very creative.
Oh, thank you.
So it's weird how I feel like those things would go hand in hand of like really being able to visualize, but
word and language focused.
Yeah, I've never been much of a visual learner. I'm more of an auditory, tactile learner. Yeah, experiential. But like when Matt or any GM describes something to me, I don't have a problem putting myself in the space. I don't have a problem conceptualizing of it, even spatially. Like totally, I have that kind of awareness. I just don't see
it. That's cool.
Is it? I don't know. It's weird. I just
It's
understand it.
different.
Yeah.
It's just people's brains are weird.
If anyone out there relates, leave your comments in.
Comments to critroll.com/tower.
I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, and he was saying the same thing. But he does law. He's a lawyer, and so he's like, yeah, I imagine things like black and white, or even in like ones and zeros almost.
That's actually a
in
lot
his
closer.
brain.
It's just a concept of being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating.
One quirk about me, and I mean, life as an actor has trained me to kind of to make eye contact a lot. But I think in life, when I'm absorbing, if someone's explaining something complicated to me, my eyes drift away from them often, and I will just focus on the words, or I feel like I get confused to the point where my wife is like, "Are you not even paying attention to me?" And I'm like, "No, I have to do this, or I'm not going to follow
I'm following
where we're going."
Yeah.
And I listen to a ton of, I'm the only person in America who listens to podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts and talk radio and.
Same. Yeah. That's interesting. Well, you're an auditory learner then. Yeah.
But I feel like I have the holodeck both in the VO booth and with what we do.
Oh, there you
Like
go.
right now, she just looks like a dying woman whose hair is falling out and there's a dead rat perched on her shoulder.
I think you look great.
Jesus.
It's your character.
You made her. She's fun, scary. I was really happy and was pushing for it to get the tower out, just because we are on such a rapid climb to destiny that I felt like we would all benefit from taking that time out and injecting some fun.
Just having a fucking
too.
minute.
Yeah, having a minute for heartfelt conversations like Oren and Dorbybum had.
No, you want to say Durham. It's okay.
No, I
you
don't
can
wanna
say
say
it
that.
out loud.
Don't just ship name.
Dora.
Do it.
Yes.
Just be glad I didn't hijack the episode. Like I did.
Rabiam. Lobby.
Lobby.
No, that's a real person. I don't like
Don't
it.
do it. You can't do it.
I don't like it.
Lobby.
And one of my favorite things from the tower was a decision that I made up on the spur of the moment, which was making Caleb a sea popper.
I love
That
that.
was also
Not
That
planned.
was also
Not planned. I just
Yeah,
knew
that
in the
was
moment
so
it had to
fun.
be.
Which also tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Talked
tracks.
about like how you would collect cat figurines, like everywhere you went. Of course, that was the thing.
It totally tracks.
Yes, and now retroactively, the toys that little Bren saw in the store are the shapes, the animals, the beasts that Caleb turns into an adult. So it wasn't the case when Campaign 2 was happening, but now it is 100% true that Caleb turned into an ape because he was looking at a little wooden ape in a window. Yeah.
I love a retcon.
Yeah.
I love it. Do
I
it.
love it.
That's not a retcon. That's just the story revealing itself to you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Chipping away some more stones.
It's always fun to go back to Mighty Nine.
But I didn't know I was absent for the wish, right? So the existence of sea poppers was because of a wish Chetney made, or is that debatable?
That's right.
I wasn't here for it.
feel like
I just found
that's
out about
Still
this.
debatable.
I feel
in
like
my
that's chicken or
opinion.
eggy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, he also, because
deal
we
with
also
tag.
don't know any of this, like all of us.
Right.
You can't,
Because
or it wouldn't
his-
work.
Right.
Yeah,
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he making that deal ripple backwards through time and slightly reorganize the past and bumped Caleb
know,
into
how
being a
does that
sea
work?
popper by making that wish?
Oh man.
It's very
It's like the
Oracle in the Matrix.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
really gonna bake your noodle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you have
There
even
is
broken
some
it if I hadn't said anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. I guess Mighty Nine has Chetney to thank for their existence.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
It's also our second Matrix reference of
We're doing great.
the episode.
Yeah.
2001? No, no, wait, 1999.
Matrix was
Yeah.
99, right?
99, baby.
99, baby.
Should we talk about the Weave Mind battle?
Oh, yeah.
That
And
was fun.
And Fungal Friends is on here. And LOL Force Cage.
I
want
love
to hear
it.
about. I want to hear about the Mighty Nine fight. I want to
Oh,
hear.
that's right, you
I
weren't
wasn't there. Tell me about it. What happened? What was your favorite part?
The mechanics that Matt came up with were
What'd you guys do?
incredible.
What'd you guys do? I haven't watched
Well,
it.
there were 5 floating psychics, and
Yeah.
they were surrounded by crystals, and it became apparent that we had to break the crystals, or we had to break some of the crystals at least.
Yeah.
But they also were all taking, if one of them took damage,
They were sharing damage.
they were sharing damage and sharing, like,
Hive mind shit.
So you
hive
couldn't
mind
focus
shit.
and whittle
Or weak mind
one
shit.
character down. It was just a collective lowering of water.
Frustrating
so
mechanic.
cool.
Anybody's ever played a good TCG or board game knows when you're trying to focus in
Focus on.
and
Yeah,
you have a
can't
special
focus
ability
fire.
that allows you to spread it. That's tough stuff. How'd you handle it?
But they,
We kind of halvesied the strategy.
we did, and I think that was actually the right call because they also had this ability, this like triangulation ability, where they would
If you were in the middle of 3 of them.
Oh, that's
in
right.
the middle of 3 of them, so they would all float around, and they were trying to make their triangle as like wide as possible.
Were they pretty mobile?
Yeah,
Yes.
floaty.
Yeah.
How many of them were there?
5.
5.
5? Well, you can't make that many triangles with 5. I was gonna say if it was like 8 or something, you
Tried
could
to
be
kill
in
us with
real
trigonometry.
trouble. Yeah.
It was very, yeah. And then so like they would float into a triangle, and then one of them, if one of them cast an ability, it would hit everything inside that triangle.
Ooh. So
Yeah.
so an area of effect created by like angle-based maneuvering. Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds
Yeah, all of them
funsies.
just.
It was awesome.
That's cool.
It was
It
really
was
cool.
awesome.
That was.
I was excited to use a 9th level spell that I've never used before. I cast Time Stop. And I rolled the maximum number
That
of
was-
turns you could roll.
Oh, that's right. That was so crazy.
It was fun. However, some of the choices that I made during the time stop were pointless. I rolled. The best part is that I put a delayed fireball over some of their heads, and then
Yeah.
I threw another fireball to trigger it. So 2 of them went off. But I also cast Mirror Image, which failed every time I was attacked, and I cast a spell that makes me be on fire, so that if anyone ever hits me, they get burned. No one ever came near me.
Yeah. But you probably look cool. You're on
I
fire
looked
the whole
great.
time.
Yeah.
But it was so cool because you just kept taking turns.
Yeah, you
And
just
I
did
was
4
like, wait,
turns.
so you just stopped time and you were like, I want to do this.
You cast a spell,
wanna do this too.
and then it's D4 plus 1 turns, and I rolled a
That's-
4 on the
that's
4
right.
sided die.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
they
just
You
also
get 5
were-
turns in a row.
Yeah.
Ooh, fun.
5 turns in a row. And then they had all these crystals, so there were these floating crystals.
Uncut gems, you might say.
Uncut gems.
uncut jams.
That's a throwback.
And the crystals had like
Better than Wallace
abilities each turn. And then also the more crystals there were, the more the weave mind would regenerate hit points every turn.
Oh, fun.
So we kind of started,
We got rid of like 40% of them?
Yeah.
30 to 40%?
well, and then I know Travis was kicking himself, which he shouldn't have because it just took us a minute to figure it out. They were vulnerable to force damage, which is what Eldritch Blast does.
Oh.
And we kept thinking like, oh, you gotta like hit it with melee. But then
It's just the force.
just force damage. So he was like, fuck, if I had known, I could have just been like pop, pop, pop.
Spell sniping. the whole
Spell
time.
sniped it.
Yeah, interesting. Who took
was
the
fine.
biggest shit in the whole battle? Who tripped over their shoelaces?
shit.
Who rolled a natural one when they were flying through the air going, this was the final? Was there anybody just really cocked a roll?
Danny looks like she immediately has an idea. I'm trying to
I
think.
wanna know.
I mean, it was kind of you, babe.
Oh,
Me?
no, what'd you do?
What did I do?
Turn?
Yeah,
lost a whole
I mean,
turn.
Bell's House had
I'm
a
not
few
trying to
good
call
ones.
anybody out. I just think it's funny when it
Percy
happened.
took the biggest shit in Mighty Nine.
So did
I mean, in
Pike.
Vox Machina.
Pike took a pretty. I was so mad at myself that game.
What
But-
happened with
You kept your stunning strikes kept failing for like the whole time until like the very end.
But if that's as bad as it gets, then it
no,
probably
the
had to
Mighty
be
Nine
pretty
did,
good.
Did,
Yeah.
did really, really well.
Yeah, I feel like
okay.
Mighty Nine did really well.
Okay.
To be fair, Stunning Strike is deliberately tough to hit
Yes.
because it's so powerful.
But of everybody, I think you had the hardest run. of it, but I think that even then, like, Mighty Nine kind of kicked fucking ass.
Man, I didn't feel that way.
That said,
I felt like I did pretty great.
You guys love D&D so much. You're like defending yourself.
Like, nope, not true.
Well, because you can
I
kind of
nailed
keep
it.
dumping, stunning, and strikes and keep trying for it.
dissension among the ranks. I
in
apologize.
Bo's defense, the last one did take, and just the way initiative went, it was lining up to me, and I was already considering disintegrate, and you locked someone into place, and I went, oh,
Yeah.
it's an auto success.
And it's an
No,
auto
it was
success.
perfect. My only thing was just Mighty Nine crushed it so hard. So the only real choice was, well, I guess it was kind of Bo, but even then, she kicked ass.
Yeah.
Like everybody just fucking crushed
Not
it.
Jester's blade wall.
Caduceus had a couple goose eggs.
Yeah.
Not even really Caduceus having the goose eggs, but he made the crystals vulnerable, and that only like really helped for
we
like
didn't-
one round.
Yeah, we tried to take. Yeah.
poor Laura. She's trying to do this like badass high level spell that just sends some butcher knives going ching 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 ching
Oh,
ching
no,
ching
yeah,
in the
I
air.
forgot that blade wall happened.
Yeah.
You know what? That one's worse. That one's worse. That's on me.
Take that, Laura. Can't not here to defend yourself.
That's what happens on
I
this
fully
show.
forgot that it existed. Not going in the recap. Sorry, guys.
Whoever's on this show
Not going.
rounds on the absent members. It happens again
Yeah.
and again and again.
Fuck your tower.
Yeah.
See, now you're.
Stop, please, stop fighting.
Fuck in my tower. Fuck in
Yes,
my
yes,
tower.
yes.
Tower.
Look, Caleb. Look, it's Caleb's Widowgas Nation 9-sided tower is for lovers. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Also,
It is.
people this week have asked me, or last week, or at some point asked me where Essex room is. Caleb's room is Essex room. There's not a devoted room for Essex. Caleb's room
They share.
is Essex room.
They're
Yeah,
together.
like my
How do y'all think
grandparents
partners
where
work?
they've reached
Surely
a certain
one of them snores
age
by
and
now.
then exactly.
Like I
Pick
don't.
Pick my grandpa
I'm
out.
gonna sleep better if we're not
Yeah.
in the same room.
Honestly, the center of the tower where there's no gravity is their bedroom.
Exactly. What do you think? What do you think
yeah.
the top floor is used for?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
there's no gravity. Yeah, there's no gravity. It just.
How do you
Well.
even purchase? I'll think about it.
I just saw like half a dozen thoughts.
There
go
were
through
so
your
many
head.
thoughts.
And
at
none
once,
of
I
them
was
were
like,
visual,
man,
so we're clear.
we haven't put any of those out there.
You need a wizard to cast reverse gravity, and then it's on the ceiling.
Oh boy.
How about those fungal friends?
Oh my God, I love them.
Big Princess Mononoke energy.
Yeah.
Just like the Koroks coming out. and-
Yeah, four spirits.
When Matt does little creatures like that,
I know.
they're just so cute. And I'm like, let them be.
Those little like Dave Bradley Baker clicks. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he kills me with
So
those little
good.
creatures.
I do always like the potential for them to maybe be bad. I like
I
that
know, I
they're
felt like they were
cute,
gonna teeter.
We're waiting
but they
for it.
like, come.
I still feel it has happened
Where?
before.
Yes.
It's happened before.
Oh, it has happened.
Oh
before.
yes.
Yeah, where you're
little
like,
cute
"I
little
love
glowing
them."
things in the forest.
Glowing things,
Yeah.
You're like, oh look, they're little like fireflies, and then they're like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or attached to a larger killer pufferfish type monstrosity.
Yeah.
Oh, like an angler, like an angler, like a
That-
doingler.
Literally, he did that to us.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
You guys, did you know there's a Planet Earth 3 out right now?
Like a documentary?
Can we go there?
Like Planet Earth, like the series Planet Earth.
They put out a third?
They put out a third one.
When did it drop?
I don't know.
Soon.
It had to
I'll
have
watch
been
it
like
tonight.
a couple weeks or maybe months ago.
Sure.
There
that
is
makes
nothing
sense.
better to watch sometimes.
Sometimes.
And I was. There's nothing better to watch sometimes. Ashley Johnson.
I know when those sometimes are. We all know when
I
those
wasn't gonna
sometimes
say
are.
sometimes, and I was like, well, I mean, not all the time, but like there's times.
Sometime between the
You're like-
hours of 10:30 and 1 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Under certain scenarios.
Yes,
the
of
moon's
course, where you're
full.
like, oh shit, no way.
Planet Earth?
Man. Yeah. It's the best thing when you're.
They're just ants! You know.
I bring it up because.
That Richard.
I mean, it's Planet Earth. They always like spend 10 years making them, and they capture the craziest shit.
Crazy as
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
And there's, I don't know where I'm going with this. It's cute animals who are deadly.
Here
is
you
where
see
I'm going.
the fungal creatures of Ruidus congregating
So good,
deep
so
below the
good.
surface of the moon.
I wish
Yeah,
we
put
could do a
Attenborough
planet
straight in my
Exandria. Like just a voiceover of just like a
yeah.
docu-series of like something really nice to put on while you're sleeping. Have Liam do the voice.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I'd watch it.
When you see in my seat in the wild.
That's just your Cosmo Grim voice.
Predathos lurks deep within the bowels of Ruidus. Will he pop his head out, yes or no?
I would listen to that and fall asleep to that.
Yeah.
But the slip and slides.
Slip and slides.
That was such a cool gaming mechanic.
But like hurdy slip and slides.
Yeah.
They're real life though. Like I was down in Costa Rica.
Slip and slides?
I was not slip and slides. Slide.
Did you know they're real?
They're real.
Yeah.
Water slides that hurt.
Water slides there.
Like I was down in
It was a
Costa
real
Rica.
thing for a short time in New
old
Jersey.
school.
Yeah.
You duct
I
tape
was
them
there.
together.
No, in
Soap?
Costa Rica, the water slides are all made of just like a rock.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
carved out concrete.
Yeah.
And you're just hoping you don't get concussed on
gotta
the
wear-
way down.
You gotta wear jeans.
Yes.
And suits. Yeah.
Have you ever
can't go
done
down that bare
natural
ass.
water slides, rock slides?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico.
They're so fun.
Yeah, they are. You get fucked up.
Yeah, they do. They,
I mean, you have to be fully clothed.
I've done that.
they
upstate.
spit you out 16 feet above the
Uh-huh.
water surface.
Yeah, just this last summer, I was in upstate New York, and I went on one that I hadn't been to since I was like a 10-year-old. And I would go like, okay, I'm gonna get out. No, oh my God, I'm going another 200 feet. I went like
You just kept going?
1,000 feet. I was like, I'm gonna die today. I guess I'm gonna die today.
Yeah, you're like, this is so fun. Is this safe?
No, the answer is no.
No.
Do people get hurt out here?
There's
Has
barely.
anyone died on this thing?
See, in Kentucky, we would take tarps and line them up and then like lube them down with
Yep.
like Dawn dish soap and then shoot ourselves into ponds.
That sounds
Hell
right.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
We should do that. Did you guys ever do like sleeping bags down staircases?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's what the slides reminded me of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because when you go down, you're like,
Yeah. That or like big
That was
cardboard
hurt.
box or something too.
yes, big
It's also
cardboard
good.
box, keeping
Oh.
the pillows
Down the
inside.
slide.
Laundry bin,
Laundry basket.
plastic laundry.
For
Yeah.
Top
I-
notch.
Classic.
Went to dreaded Action Park, which you can learn about in a documentary
So
that's out there
jealous
now.
you actually went there.
Yeah.
I will tell 3 short stories. One is one of the best rides there was a super short one that I couldn't stop thinking about on our water slide thing, which is just you climb up, you go into this tube, and it goes down into the ground, takes a sharp right, and then spits you out like 30 or 40 feet above the water. It's pitch black, and you just go, boom, and your head goes, boom, and you're out. Every time. There was another
That sounds
ride.
great. That was
That
the
was
best
like-
one you said. That was the best one.
There was another one that was like an almost completely vertical drop slide that then went down, like probably 100 or 150 feet, and then turned, and then you slide out. The problem is, it wasn't one long piece of plastic. It was like joining segments.
Oh
so
my
there was a
God.
seam between every piece, and it was like you got caned on the way down. It was like
Ow!
welts all up and down your back.
I just involuntarily grabbed my pieces in fear. We've got the tape, Jim. I literally did.
Then there was the Alpine slide, which were like little go-kart.
that one
like
was
killed
horrifying.
people, right?
Yes, and you sat in a little like go-kart thing with a lever, and you would pull the lever back to slow down or just let it go forward to go. And I watched a kid 100 feet in front of me fly off and smash his head on another and out.
Sure.
I mean, people literally died on that ride, right?
Who died on that ride?
Yeah.
A handful
Yeah.
of people.
Action Park, watch it, y'all.
It's
But there's
so
so
good.
many,
That's
so
such
many
a good
people who
documentary.
didn't die. Am I right?
Yeah, and that reminds me of Liliana Temalt.
What a great segment.
Well,
You've only hosted this show twice.
She almost died. But
She
then she
almost
didn't.
died, yeah.
Yeah.
And she didn't even go to Action Park.
We would have lost her for sure if we had just fucked up one earlier.
One more
segment
time.
of the show.
Yeah.
One more
If
time.
enough of us had fucked up our rolls so that the average was super low, that would have meant dead mom.
I feel like we were doing so well that Matt was a little tough on us in one sequence. Like we had one mid-roll and he was like, "Meh," and I was
I
like,
know.
what?
Why are you putting it over there? Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
but
there was
but
the
it made
one
sense, though.
time where I think it was like after we were in the fungus room, and
You know, when you were in the
the
fungus room.
fungus room.
Is that it, Titmouse Animation?
I was wondering if like Ashen giving over the seed was completely fucking us. I didn't know what was
There
going
was so
on
much. I was
there.
like, are we doing the right thing?
There was so much going on with that.
Say it like that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Sorry. Sorry.
Am I right?
Wow.
And then when we were like,
Enough
oh,
about Calamore.
we got it. and Matt was like, oh, you talk to my seat and they shoot you down another water slide and it's like an express path. Red marker. And I was like, the fuck?
Yeah. Took a little.
Why?
I didn't understand that either, but he's got his reasons.
He's got his reasons.
Of course.
Maybe we shot like a quarter mile off in the wrong direction.
Right.
Had
I
to
know.
go
Yeah,
back.
you don't know.
Maybe it seemed good.
Yeah.
So the seed. I wanted to ask about the seed because I missed the seed. You guys got a seed at some point.
Yeah.
And how long had Ashton been holding on to that? Long time?
Very long.
40 episodes?
So potentially something that could have been forgotten in a bag
40
and not used. Do you think Taliesin, oh, he's not here, I'd love to ask him, do you think he just saw an opportunity? Because I felt like that was an awesome, beautiful, like mystical kind of moment.
It was right before the first time you went to Ruidus, so it's fewer than that. It's more like 20 to 30, I think.
You got it at the All Mines with
Yeah,
Imogen,
yeah.
right?
But it was the last trip to the All Mines, but it was right before y'all went to Ruidus the first
Wasn't
time.
the All Mines that was in
That's in Bassaris.
in Bassaris.
Yeah.
That's right.
It just felt like a really cool tableau that I'm glad Matt latched onto and like ran with like once it started happening.
It was.
Yeah.
And that alien life and this seed now have a beautiful relationship either for the rest of eternity or the next 90 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
That was my, like, I don't know if it was supposed to go sooner and maybe the All Minds Burn might have more of a psychic connection on the moon, which would have helped us along the way, or if this is like long-term shit. I'm just not sure.
I think it could have helped us along the way if we
Yeah.
would have done it.
Because I think they
Earlier.
just kind of forgot.
Yeah.
As a side
That's why
note,
they didn't do it sooner.
I love when with Matt's running of this story, I love the juxtaposition or the mixing of different elements. Like he gave us the desperation and the fear of losing Liliana and rushing there. Gave us little cute fungal things and a water slide, right? And then a fight where we were racing to stop a woman from being like evaporated in front of our eyes. And like Matt is just really, really great at even in dire times, like we are still playing a game, we still like wonder and imagination and fun. So like I really appreciate how much sort of light and sparkle was mixed amongst the thrill ride of this end game that we're in.
Yeah.
Anyway, compliments.
But it's also so indicative of real life represented in fantasy. Like if you want to go down the rabbit hole, you can say, okay, the outcome of that fight was saving Imogen's mother, and how much could that potentially impact her decisions moving forward? We don't know. How different could her arc have been had her mother died? I think that for her character arc is such a coin, or character arc is such a coin toss of how that could have landed. And in reality, it was decided by something as innocuous as how well we rode a water slide.
Right.
And if that's not what life is,
It
I
is.
don't know what else
Yeah.
it is. Serendipity, being at the right time at the right place or wrong time at the right place, and how it can all go, any innocuous thing you do can inexorably change your life, or arguably every innocuous thing you do does.
Big butterfly effect.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's so cool to think about it in that way.
You curse fate as you can't find your car keys for 20 minutes, but that's the thing that stops you from getting you know, totaled by a bus
Sure.
in an hour.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. That's life. You
Crazy.
might get hit by a bus.
Say la vie.
Too dark.
I do like those final rounds though, where it was like, oh, we have 4-player turns,
Yeah.
or Imogen's mom dies, and it's like each one had to, and then it was right after Breus like biffed it. Breus took all those swings on
Speaking of
Ludinus and biffed
Who
it.
took the most giant shit?
Yeah, that was a pretty,
hard.
because he held
That
his
was
turn.
hard.
Oh, he set it all up.
Set
Yeah,
it
that
up
was
and
hard.
then biffed it. That sucked.
It happened.
And then after that, it was like, well, damn. And then you set up that beautiful force cage. It was Force Gage's time to shine,
Yes,
baby.
it was.
It was time.
There's no
It's
better
time.
person to trap in a box than Ludinus Deleth.
Yeah. I just, it's been such an abject failure for me the whole campaign. I was so scared to use it.
Yeah.
But we were literally a turn out before my turn, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's the right play. It's the only play. We're one turn away. I was looking at you across, like 90 feet across the map. I only saw one route for you to get there. And then it's also not my decision to make, it's Imogen's decision. So I've got to ask her if I can do it. And thankfully it worked out, but it had never worked out before.
It was brilliant. Like I had a thing I was going to do, but I rated it maybe a third of a chance, 1/3 chance it would succeed.
Yeah.
I literally smacked my head on my dice and poked myself in the forehead with the D4 when I was like, this has never worked, and I was like, ow, fuck.
Insult to injury.
But it worked. It worked for as far as we know.
Boy,
Yeah.
I tell you, if Liliana had kicked the bucket, I think Imogen's chances of picking dark choices would have gone up like 45%.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's-
45.
Yeah.
I think
Not a done deal, but
Ludinus's
No.
chance of survival also would have been
Yeah.
even lower. I think you would have caught a little dark Imogen, which maybe is fun, but maybe we still will. I don't know.
well, this has been so great talking about what is up and all that, but we do have other portions of this game. We have a little bit of the Tower of Inquiry to tug at.
Of inquiry.
Pretty simple. If you haven't watched the show, we're going to take turns pulling blocks from the tower.
If you haven't watched the show.
Danny reads us the corresponding fan question. What a time to tune in, and we each give our own answer. And if for some reason the tower should fall on the first pull or after, there will be a consequence for the one who destroys it. Robbie Daymond, step up to the plate.
How dare you?
Daymond.
You know, I always pawn this off on somebody else, so I'm actually glad to do this. Bob's
Get
your
it.
uncle. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! I missed it.
That was
You are the Anti-Laura.
a wild
Five.
choice.
Wait, you gotta put it back on.
Oh. I'll even go down. I'll even put it on the same shot. Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, no.
What is this?
Easy peasy. Cinco. Let's hit it.
All right, number 5. From Amelia. Loved seeing Xerxes animated in Vox Machina. Thought it was so seamlessly blended with some of my favorite plot points from Campaign 1. And I was wondering what the conversations are like around altering original campaign moments to include beloved characters of other campaigns like Xerxes. Are there any ideas around this that ended up not being used that you thought were cool?
Oh my goodness.
That's a big question.
It's a big question. We've answered versions of this a few times across many interviews.
Yeah.
There's a bajillion ideas that hit the writer's room floor, hit the cutting room floor. You just don't have time for all of it. And
I'll answer this one.
yeah,
What are you talking about?
I mean, you know, you still know.
Oh, sure.
Ultimately, I think it's just trying to like weave together what is a several 100-hour-long story into 12 episodes a season, 30-minute episodes, 22-minute episodes.
Right. And we were already messing with the reality there. Like in the campaign, they did not go to the 9 hells for that, right? They got that in the elemental plane of fire.
What are you talking about? Sorry.
Well, I'm talking about animated, right? Like we fused a few things for the visit to get the Plate of the Dawn Martyr and where we met Xerxes. And originally, I think that was just going to be a devil.
Yeah.
But no, like there's not a lot of investment in that. So there's, in the writer's room, there's a lot of like, what if it was this guy?
Yeah.
What if we pulled this over from 50 miles away?
Well,
Does that work here?
Yank was the grease road that had the Spire of Conflicts in it.
Tum-tum, yeah. Mhm.
And then so we just kind of put Yank because we still really wanted to have the Yank and Vorigal battle. But we basically got rid of the Spire of Conflicts being a thing in the show.
Right, we decided Keyleth is the Spire of Conflict.
Keyleth is the Spire of Conflicts. Her leveling up is her Aramente. So we didn't want to it's a little bit of a hat in the animated series.
The Yank Vorgal fight is just one of those flags that in the beginning of the season we're like, "Phoom, this has to happen.
Yeah.
Now let's figure out how it does. And
But then-
everything's built up to get there.
A lot of what we changed and built up in the animated series is Pike story stuff,
Yeah.
primarily because you were in and out so much
Yeah,
with
there was
blind spot.
we had to figure out a way to make that. I mean, it kind of I feel like was a cool opportunity to bring a lot of stuff in
That you didn't get a chance.
that
to
I didn't get a
explore.
chance to explore, but also like stuff we wanted to try with the story of like, well, we can't have Pike going in and out because that wouldn't make sense in the series. So let's
Yeah.
just have fun with it,
how we
which
can.
I love because we can't tell the same story that we tell at the table in 22-minute episodes in a season. You know, like what's the best way to tell this story?
Yeah.
Solving a Rubik's Cube. I also
Yeah.
really love Pike's greater presence and stronger through line through that season because it had such a ripple effect into Scanlan's story as well and changed
Yeah.
the tenor
Yeah.
of his melody in the season as well. That was very
Yeah.
cool.
It just ended up because I remember it was after Calamity, literally like after shooting Calamity, and we were still at the table, and I was sitting next to Travis, and he was like, and we were going. If you remember, episode 4 was, no pun intended, hell, and everyone was having a hard time trying to figure out how to make it make sense, how to break it, and then he was like, "It's Xerxes." It was a cool moment.
I can
So
think of
cool.
LVM as
I love
the
it.
AU that is just answering the question, what if Pike was there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
Oh man.
I know. We'll never know.
Speaking of Pike, do a thing.
That's right, he beat me to
Okay,
it. Go
okay,
pull
okay.
a block.
Ah, still your host.
Robbie, you are not the host today. It's so natural for you. You're
co-host.
so naturally good
Nope.
at it.
Nope, I
right.
refuse.
This pull brought to you by Lobby.
I feel like this is like
Oh.
this is a little tilted already.
It is a little askew.
Oh!
48.
Whoa.
48. 48. Let's
Reacting
see.
to the wrong part.
That's my part.
48! What a number!
Good one.
Higher than 5.
This is interesting considering we're so close to since this is so close to the end of the campaign. But Kayla Cabral asks, "What do you think your character would be doing right now if they hadn't joined up with Bell's Hells?"
You said Kayla Cabral.
Kayla
I thought
Cabral.
that was the start of the question.
No.
That's a badass fantasy name, Kayla.
yeah.
That's a great. I thought like
Cool name.
talk to me about the Kayla Cabral fight is what I was expecting. Yeah. What would they be doing?
Boy.
As
Well,
the
boy.
world falls down around them, what would they be doing right
We
now?
hadn't met up and fallen down this journey together, and Lewdness still would have been doing Lewdness things.
No magical furniture. No Bertrand.
No, yeah. I mean, I feel like for Fern, she'd still be stuck in Nana Mori's protection.
little hot. Yeah.
But she had left before. She had left that before she met Bell's Hells, before she met the Crown Keepers.
You are correct, Danny. She went out and about in the world. Oof. But I mean, so much of that leaving was because of.
But if it's only that she hadn't met, become part of, let's say it's instead of him bringing you, instead of Orm bringing you, what if you had stayed with Opal and Dariax had gone with
Damn.
Dorian and Orem to Marquette? She never would have been part of Bell's Hells.
Never would have been but part of Bell's Hells. Would have just like.
Well, and you had a moment, right, where you're like, do I stick with Fern
Oh, yeah.
or mix it up?
Yeah. What after we had talked after EXEO?
Is
Yeah.
that too much how the sauce is made? Like the idea that you were trying out your characters in EXU?
Because I remember talking to you guys, and I was like, look, it would be awesome to like pull people over, but also
If it doesn't work,
if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Or if you're like, I don't want to play this person for the next 3 years.
I know you had been building.
Oh, I've been
for
thinking
like
about it
half
for a long
decade or
time.
something.
So,
Yeah.
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 Because you were toying around. with
Oh, I
like
was
a-
toying around with so much. 'Cause
Yeah.
we had so many of those we had so many games just playing and figuring stuff out and trying different classes, trying different types of characters, and
Yeah.
I never was planning to ever play a druid. It just kind of made sense for Fern. I always wanted to play a rogue,
Yeah.
and I just never ended up finding the right character. But I think after playing Fern with the crew, I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I like this dynamic with the Dorian, Orem, and Fern. I want to keep her going.
You got your level as a rogue in the end, though.
Yeah, you
huh?
dipped your
I
toe.
did,
Yeah.
just to
Actually-
steal shit.
How many
Which
points of
later I
rogue
was
do you
like,
have
why did
now?
I do that?
3?
Oh, you got 3 rogue?
3 rogue?
Sure. I don't know. Guys, I don't.
It's
I'm
3,
done.
right?
Have you did go, I think, Arcane Trickster to give
Yes.
yourself some wizard spells.
If Bell's Hells hadn't congealed, do you think probably Laudna and Imogen would just be wandering together? right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I imagine we could have probably stayed in Drusar for maybe a little longer before, like, both of us felt like we needed to get the fuck out of Dodge.
But they're still Ruidus born, so they'd still be having like dreams. I wonder if
That's fair.
I wonder if you can argue
No,
that.
well,
there's no way
Fern's
for-
never had dreams.
But
I mean-
Fern was still part of the puzzle. That's the thing.
Fern is still, yeah.
Well, and there was also
Yeah.
the whole, like, draw of Ruidus born kind of being being pulled in, going on their, like, pilgrimage.
Yeah.
So I could fully see Laudna being like, well, we have to figure this out.
Yeah, I
We
feel
gotta
like
go.
Liliana would be reaching out to her daughter somehow, no matter what.
Yeah.
With that in mind, I feel like Fern probably would have been pulled into the bad side. It's been like, oh, sure, I'll help out.
I could see that.
I could
Yeah.
do.
You're my father? Cool.
Oh, great.
Fern
Oh,
feels
probably,
like she's
yeah.
always on the edge of, like, slipping into a cult accidentally.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I love that.
Literally beginning. Even EXU times, you were always in question. You had a shadow version of yourself being like,
Yeah.
come on over.
Yeah.
She's Faye.
Yeah.
She's Faye. You never know.
I think Orem would have still ended up being a minor role in it all, only because if shit was hitting the fan on a global level, he would have been continued to do like sort of traveling soldier ambassador work for the Ashari, but then when shit hit the fan, he probably would have either been summoned back or felt compelled to go back and lend a hand on like the battlefield that surrounded Vox Machina and everything.
Yeah, he would have been at the Malice Key fight probably no matter what.
As part of the onslaught, but
Yeah.
not any of the stealth teams.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think Dorian, I'd have to take it back to pre-EXU, I would say, if he'd never met up with that squad, just because that's, I think, where he found his mooring. I feel like he would be in high-level trouble. Like, I feel like he's, like, so down for anything that without foundation, he would have worked himself into, he would be
Into trouble.
in a mess.
Yeah.
Somehow. He'd be wrapped up, but in a way that is not good.
Oh wow. I could see that.
Maybe recruited to the Vanguard.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. That'll be so sad.
All right, Marisha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch me pull a brick from the tower.
Oh, bait and switch.
Do it good.
I could see Dorian and Cyrus being like vaudeville people who are like running scams on people, and you scam the wrong guy. Dorian and Cyrus just having like a hat and cane routine.
We picked the pocket of this Ludinous fella.
Yeah.
That's your thing. That's your thing. That's your thing. You'd be our third scam.
Yeah, I probably would have been. We would have found each other.
That's a 3.
That's a 3.
A 3.
All right.
Robbie amused by numbers.
We already figured out. Maybe I only have numbers in my brain. Let's not push it any further.
So this is from Lacecap on Twitter. Which non-furniture related mystery in Exandria is the biggest splinter in your mind from this campaign? Mine is the hidden Icefura city that BH ended up in when one of their teleports misfired, but I keep wondering if it's connected with Seret, Maya, and Paisha's orb. Hilariously, I can answer that question for you if you read the recap for that episode. I tell you exactly what city that is.
Read the recap.
I forgot about that city.
So,
too.
like unanswered mystery, we left it.
yes.
Campaign.
What happened after we fled the Shade Mother? She's still down there?
Yeah.
She's still
Shade Mother.
controlling
That's right.
people with booger snot coming out the plumbing in
Yeah.
that city. Never looked back. Had bigger things to think about.
Had the Green Seekers dealing with her, so hopefully they took care of it.
Hopefully they took care of it.
Where are the green seekers at?
Mine feels small and selfish, but it's was my brother savable?
Oh.
I think that's still lingering in the back of my head, even though the hope is a sliver. That's still lingering.
Yeah.
Small and selfish, but
Not selfish.
I think the character thinks about
Caring
it.
about your brother?
Yeah.
I think we'll allow it.
Listen, the world's about to explode.
No.
I mean, I don't know if this is a mystery, but I cannot stop thinking about FCG's coin that we dropped down
Down.
at the bottom.
That was
That's
early.
right.
Yeah.
Early on.
Who's,
Yeah.
who's the creepy tunnels?
The creepy tunnels
creepy
under
tunnels.
Drusar.
About Shade Mother.
Duggar? No.
Spire,
Is that
yeah.
right?
The core spire, yeah. They're like basically there's a whole probably other city under Drusar that we haven't even
Oh my god.
we've barely scratched the surface. Not even scratched the surface.
Wow.
It's not really a city. It's more that there's like mines.
Yeah.
There's mines below. And all
But
of
hey,
that.
every
There
city
could be a city.
needs
Could be like
good
a
tunnel
mine city.
people
Yeah.
living in there.
You know I love a
living
mole.
under
You know I
there.
love moles.
Vegas.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
You know, I'm the first one to
know
be like,
what's under there.
is it mole people? I feel like it's probably mole people.
Probably when in doubt, mole people.
When in doubt.
Yeah, so I just feel like I think I've said this before, where it's like one of the side quests that I want to do is be like, hey, let's go get FCG's coin.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
God, I can't think of anything right now.
Letters connection to the old world.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
we
God, I wanna
we would
know
have
what all that
explored
is.
probably quite a bit more than we did,
Yeah.
and it ties to like Devexian.
Yep.
We still haven't figured out anything with the Vexian.
Not really.
True. If you want to hear
So
more
I
about
guess that
Devexian,
would that's something I would want to know about.
if you want to learn more about Devexian, you should listen to the Reslayer's take on Beacon. Ooh.
It's family friendly.
All ages.
All ages.
All right, it's 4-sided dive. So that being said, let's round out with 1/4 pull from the tower.
Oh, we're gonna do it. Okay.
You're gonna do
Okay.
it?
All right.
Do it,
I'll do it.
Do it.
The last pull?
Last one.
Last one. Let's see. I feel like woodpecker approach.
23.
34.
34.
34?
There you go.
You're holding it like a Price is Right.
Nice. Ooh.
Wow, beautiful.
Ah.
I'd like
We
to buy a
love
vowel.
34.
Okay, Vanna. All right, from Shaffy. For everyone, do you think any of the previously established characters from past campaigns, NPCs, and player characters are Ruidusborn?
Oh, interesting.
Victor.
Victor.
Oh, may he rest in peace.
May he rest in pieces. Yeah, literally.
I feel like there were a few that Matt had kind of sort of alluded to.
I
but
always thought
never...
Keyleth was for some reason, but I guess not.
No.
That she's just a
In the
ginger.
beginning, but
She's just a ginger, yeah.
yeah.
Keyleth has enough.
Hi, married boy.
Yeah, enough going on. Got enough.
And I'm like, oh yes, they're one for one.
Yeah.
Ginger and Ruidusborn, same.
I could see like Gilmore being Ruidusborn.
Zara.
Zara.
Oh, Zara could be a Ruidusborn.
She's got moon shit.
Oh, I'll go back. EXU Pasca.
Pasca.
feel like Pasca.
Man,
You like her lot in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she hasn't.
Yeah, what is she up to? Well, you guys in
Did we
Kaimal.
kill her? She's still alive.
She was actively hunting
fled.
us
We
when
fled.
last.
She was, yeah.
You fled on the floating balcony.
Yeah.
We did a car chase.
Or they
Yes.
they did.
Car chase.
Yes.
Yeah.
Car chase, yeah.
What if the Quad Roads Lotto winner guy secretly?
Oh,
was
yeah.
born?
When he came back,
Oh,
did he come back? He was at the ball, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preston Drodelon.
Nice.
Maybe Buddy.
Yeah, is he just,
Buddy.
is he just on a cliff
Maybe
somewhere
all
going
of Darrington Brigade. Yeah.
I love you. He's theoretically Runa's born, but too dumb to like receive the message.
Yeah.
Jess thinks it's pretty.
Yeah. Maybe all of Darrington Brigade.
Yeah.
They just none of them knew.
Entire
and-
group.
Yeah.
We still have a broken plane rider in our bags, don't we?
No, she.
Oh no, we don't.
She came back.
I
we
almost
put
said
her
she
together.
DoorDashed. She dimension doored.
She
DoorDashed?
That's right.
DoorDashed away.
She
That kind of is
DoorDashed
amazing.
away.
She DoorDashed and she.
We didn't have time because we were in a crunch, but
But we tried to be like, come back.
seedling, after its level up, for the person who's attuned to it, can regrow any limbs, arms, fingers, peens, anything
Oh,
that gets
really?
lopped off. So if we had just an hour, I was going to lay the sword on Rin like the Lady of the Lake or something, so that
Oh, cool.
there would be attunement. You know, once we brought them back, and then I would just be a loner for an hour. It would have
Yeah.
been like a little magical think of the Wild Mother, and they could have got their arm back, but we had to go.
Yeah, that's right.
We had to go.
She can do that in the future.
If
Yeah.
we don't all die, we
she
can go
lives.
live.
All right. Yeah.
Lives.
That is cool. I
Wherever
didn't
they
know.
are.
Plane riders are all right.
Anyway,
Wow.
Chetney's the last full plane rider.
Shitney.
Well,
Well,
thank you, Shaffy, Lacecap, Amelia, and Kayla Cabral. I took it as Caleb could brawl.
yeah.
I thought it was like a one-shot or something. And if you have a question for our Tower of Inquiry, well, you shit out of luck. Now, it's time to slide into the deep dive where lore keeper Danny Carr passes out mugs filled with questions.
Caleb Cabral. So like the ley lines are messed up for a day, and all we got is fisticuffs.
Yep.
And it's just a wizard fight.
just oops all Caleb's.
Yeah.
That's fun.
weak-noodled slap fights.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
good. I think
pretty
Caleb's
funny.
got hands.
Oh, sure.
Y'all definitely answered a few of these, so enjoy. Just run through them.
You know what we
If
do.
you feel like you answered something already, just
Yeah, we're gonna go
Toss it
around
away.
and take turns pulling the questions out. And hey, Robbie, you go first.
Dang.
Oh, do you know how I know it's the holidays? I am so ashy. I just noticed on camera. This is definitely a guy who went on a tropical vacation, came back and didn't moisturize for a week. Anyway, comment if you relate. Oh, what's it been like as Dorian with Bells, Hells, and the Mighty Nine? Do you feel like the only human in a cast of Muppets? If so, are you more like Michael Caine or a Tim Curry? Who writes these?
and I was really proud of that one because I love the Muppets.
It's cute. I'm so tough on you, Danny. I tease.
Love me, Robbie.
Teasing's my love language.
Love me.
Oh, it was so fun. Are you kidding me? It was unhinged. It was delightful. It was watching a master class at what you guys have been doing this for a decade. It was a blast. If Dorian was a grounding force at all to be supportive while you guys went through your machinations, I was glad to be there.
Just talking to each other.
It was super fun, and everybody was down to clown. I loved when Yasha jumped in and we just played background music for all the
that's right.
various
Yes.
scenes. You mimed with me for like 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, we did mime for a really long time.
I was like,
I'll
I
mime till the end of time.
was
like
committing
if someone
to
else
the
is doing
bit.
it.
I was like, she's still committing to this bit with me. It was the best.
Well, you kept going, and I was doing the same thing. I was like, fuck, he's still fucking miming it. I'm going it down.
I probably fancy myself a Tim Curry, but I'm maybe more of a Michael Caine, I would have to say.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. This was it was the best.
The Muppets very seriously.
Oh,
I would say you're more of a Michael Caine.
Yeah.
You treated the Muppets very seriously, whereas as opposed to a Tim Curry, who's like, no, I am also a Muppet.
This is my only musical number. Quote from Muppet Treasure Island. Yeah, it was awesome. It was literally the best. What does it feel like? What did it feel like? It felt good.
let's go to Ashley.
All right, I chose this one because I really like this question. This is for me, Liam, and Robbie. Sorry, Marisha.
Sorry, go.
Was it strange to see Opal while inhabiting different characters? What would your Bell's House character have done if they had been there instead?
Wait, what was the question?
That's a great
Was it
question.
strange to see Opal while inhabiting different characters?
Oh, yeah.
What would your Bell's House character have done if they had been there instead?
I think try to see if she was reachable
Yeah.
and try to get her to stay with us.
100%.
Yes,
Would have cocked the
100%.
whole fight. I would have gotten diverted. I would have gone off target.
Yeah.
As Dorian, for sure. I'm bad at that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I think Fern would have same. Been like, no, we're not leaving you. You're coming with us. We're figuring this out. 'Cause she loves Opal so much.
It would have been a problem.
Yeah, Orm
That
would
would've
have
been a
stuck
problem.
to mission and
Yep.
would have been fucked up because of it.
It would have messed up so many things.
Would have.
Yeah, the world would end.
Yeah.
And
Because
but
we
It's
would've-
great though.
Yeah,
character.
It would have been awesome.
yeah.
But I gotta assume that's why Matt did it there instead of elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's because these characters have no motive. It's just a stranger. But what a cool moment. That was badass.
But it was like even going back with the matron fight,
We just got the simulation.
we just got the simulation, but like as Fern, I hated it. And it made me mad at the matron because I was like, why are you making me fight somebody that I love? Like, I know this is a test, but I hate this. Like, this isn't gonna make me wanna support you.
It was a little bit proving Ludinus's point, which is you're using this person, she's not even here, but you're using this because you know it will push us or test us, or like we're in some little lab experiment for you right now to see if we can do what you need.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And I was a little, like, there was a part of me that was like, what if I just didn't fight? Just didn't take the turn, like, I'm not gonna do this. But then I couldn't do it because it's D&D, and I'm like, I'm not gonna
Just
not
stand
take
there.
my turn.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm glad it would have been very different if it would have been Bell's House. Been like, Opal? Girl, how have you been? Yeah.
Liam, talk about that clutch disintegrate that took the weave mine down. I had been weighing that for a pair of rounds, but the thing about disintegrate is it's big risk, big reward, and if they succeed their deck save, it just nothing happens, and you've wasted a high level spell. And it really was because Beauregard set up the bowling pins and gave Caleb a perfect shot, and it was just a big old dose of damage right at the end. It felt good.
Well, because we have our little combo move, Caleb and Bo.
Yeah, which we talked about doing but didn't
We
get
didn't
to do.
get to it. Where I'm blanking on the damn name right now.
Oh, what your
That
cool
my,
monk shit
like,
is that does it?
Yeah, where I like debilitating barrage, I think is what it's called.
I think it's just a taint punch.
It's just a taint punch with flavor, with a little bit of hot sauce on it, so it burns.
Right. So Bo sets the person up for mega damage, and then Caleb.
That's right. I did this on Ukatoa.
Yes.
We did this on a yes.
Yes.
Yes, and while in the aftermath between campaign 2 and campaign 3, obviously Bo and Yasha have a great marriage, great sex, apparently all over the planet. But
Why would you not?
when they're not off hours, Bo and Caleb will form sort of like it's not 1-for-1, but like a Sherlock and Watson
Yeah.
fight problems in Rexentrum and around.
Yeah.
You said Sherlock and Watson. I was still thinking about their love life. I got confused for a second.
I mean,
I didn't know,
let's be real.
no Conan Doyle rolled that way.
Let's see what I
Or you,
got.
Marisha?
Should I not? Were you still talking?
I'm done.
Okay, good.
Done.
Bo is clearly still very guarded around new people, correct. With her trust in the Mighty Nine above all, correct. Has her time with the Cobalt Soul hardened her more? Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I'm jumping off of exactly what you're about to say. I don't think doing what she does specifically with the Cobalt Soul and with Caleb makes her any more trusting of people.
Yeah, her whole thing is rooting out corruption.
and-
Like, that is not going to lead you
like,
to
this
being the
proves
kind of
my
person who's
point.
like, I'm super trusting.
Yes.
Even if you've grown as a person, especially with your tight-knit group of friends, you're only going to trust them.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're going to be extremely wary of other people, always.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Beau's always been a little shit talker. So of course she's also going to be like, she's going to be like, can you all handle this? Because you guys seem like you suck. So
I love it so much.
Yeah, this was definitely, actually really liked Beau in these like couple of episodes we got to see her, especially interacting with Belle's Hells, because it was very clearly, at least to me, her putting up this front of just immediately just like, I'm gonna tell you guys all of these things, and I'm gonna say like, oh yeah, my wife and I hated each other whenever we first met, and all these things, because you don't want them to know anything about you.
Yeah.
You don't want them
a
to know
spy.
the truth. You don't want them to know that you were crazy about her like the moment that you saw her, and stuff like that. She was monochrome in a world of color and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff you tell random strangers that you don't trust. You're gonna be like, oh no, I didn't like her. What about it? You want to know more? No, I don't like you either. Like, I love it. It was just such a great encapsulation of who Beau is and how she presents herself to other people that she is still not quite on the level with. Like, you got to chip away before you get to real Beau.
100%.
I love
I love her.
100%.
I love her.
I'm
so
sorry for
much.
saying that she was shitty in the fight, because she wasn't. She was perfect.
Oh, well, I forgive you.
Okay, I love you.
Robbie, next.
Hope I pull a question where everybody tells me how much they love me.
Suck.
Oh, God. How did you approach playing Sir Konos for the table?
We did talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, I'll make it brief. We got a lot of questions. Yeah, I mean, the Scanlan idea literally dropped in the moment. There's a great thanks to whoever contributes to all the wiki stuff. The wiki was great, made my build a lot easier, things that I knew I had to do. Went back and revisited the Vox Machina episodes. Tried to watch clips of kind of like what that was, and then the rest was filling in the gap of what 30 years looks like for a guy like that.
Yeah.
But then the wiki helped, because I'm like, oh, he only ages 1 to 10. He's got these responsibilities. So, you know, a lot of my character building throughout this whole thing, and Dorian included, is making it plug and play for myself, so I don't get too lost in the sauce. So you give me a character that's got 10 years worth of lore, connected to a large group, and the easiest thing for me to do was to make him stalwart and sort of like dedicated to duty and isolated, and then it led to some just unintentionally funny character choices that once they started to develop in the moment, I was like, oh, this is fun. This is where I can find the fun in this. And yeah, I mean, it was just a pleasure to play. True improv. 2 days before, I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And yeah.
Makes me want to go back to the animated series and retroactively put in shots of him like in front of a mirror going, "You've got this, Sir Konos."
Yeah.
Scanlan does something funny. He's like, ha ha. Like you see where it builds. Yeah, exactly.
There's still the future.
I was going to say, honestly, season 4, if there is a Sir Konos in season 4,
Shally?
figure it out.
Okay, one of these like we
picking
did
and
answer, but
choosing?
I do.
I told them
the only
to do
reason
that.
I do that sometimes is because I'm like, I know I answered this. I know we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, just do it. That is the last one for campaign.
I
three.
know.
Just
That's
answer
why I was
questions.
like, okay, so I'm gonna answer. Okay, let's go with this one. How does Fern feel about the Ruby Vanguard treating her like a VIP hostage? They called her a prime acquisition.
Oh.
Is it especially strange after the death of her father? I actually forgot about that they called her a prime acquisition. I
You were gonna say, I forgot that her father died.
Yeah, I was like, wait, huh? None of this I know. I feel like, at least how I've kind of been like playing it with Fern and in moments like these, I feel like the VIP thing or like the prime acquisition, I feel like it doesn't make her feel any different, because she's like, well, they think they know what the story is here, but they have no idea. None of us do. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I think, I'm trying to think of how to word this without giving too much. I don't know. It's not that like Fern doesn't think highly of herself in any way, or that she does not, but I don't know how to answer this question. This is a hard one.
She is a princess professor.
She is a princess. She's Professor Princess. She does think, yes.
Professor Princess.
Professor Princess. I think it's all the same to her. Like, if that makes any sense. We just have a job to get done, and life is just going to go on. And me being this VIP hostage isn't like, it's like nothing's going to change. I don't know how to make sense of this. Let's go on to the next question. I'm not answering this correctly. Sorry, Danny.
You're perfect. No, you're great.
I liked it.
Because I was like, oh wait, no, Danny.
It was a very Tao of Fern answer. You're just cruising down the river. Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it makes
Stay
sense for
spirited.
Fern.
Yeah,
She's just like, yeah, good. I'm the important hostage
Great,
because
okay,
it's
I'm
gonna get us
important in this
in.
moment, and I'll
Great.
use it to get us in.
Further down the river. Incubus.
Incubus. She is a little bit of an incubus.
What was it like for Caleb to mentor other young adventurers like Imogen, to open his tower to those who might need it? I think that Caleb is kind of in his Allura era. I actually really love the sort of corruption fighting Zemnian kids story that I hope to one day tell. That is a big favorite of mine. But I also love Caleb as a teacher and a guide for young people. And I don't think of him as ever wanting any kind of like laurels or fame, really, the way that like Vox Machina is legendary and known. I still think, in a way, he's like, that's not for me, because while I have come to accept my past and everything that happened, my life is still meant to be one of service to counterbalance the darkness of my beginning. And the best he can do is mentor other people. And Imogen is her own character and her own person, but clearly to Caleb there is a lot of like turmoil in there, and just he's looking at a young person who's not sure what is right, and I think it was gravitated towards that in a teacher or like an uncle or mentor fashion.
Professor Princess.
It's sweet, yeah.
Professor Princess.
Caleb is definitely Professor Princess.
Definitely.
But is he a pillow princess? I'm sorry.
Wow, Danny.
Sorry. Came out. I will
Danny.
go back to my corner.
Proud
That's
of
the
you.
next question.
Yeah. There it is. What do we got?
It is, just to jump off of what you were saying, 7 years have gone by, and the Mighty Nine are still like unsung heroes.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
we will be for forever.
Forever.
That's
Yeah,
your story.
you're right.
Yeah. Like we got sucked in on this rudest business, but even still, it's like, we'll throw these things at you guys. We're still.
And in the end, it's only going to be of these three groups. It's really only Vox Machina that's going to be like that were thrust into this massive spotlight. But
Yeah.
Bell's Hells were like a weird little screwball unit that nobody should have bet on. And Mighty Nine, I think, are all super fucking confident, but they're going to continue to work angles and pull strings invisibly
In the
for
shadows,
the good of the
yeah.
good of the world.
Yeah. We're just going to keep doing our community
spies.
service. How does Laudna feel about the Matron of Ravens now? What does her connection mean to her? Yeah, it was very fun and felt good to have a character that wasn't like, fuck you, Matron, for, I think, the first time in this campaign. But I think it's still just an extension of, like, Laudna kind of always, like, craving to be seen a little bit and kind of craving, and also having that infatuation with, like, people of stature and people in power, and, you know, she's always kind of admired lords and ladies and regency, and I think it's kind of like that, but on a godlike scale. So just even a little bit of like the nod. And then also so many people have looked at Laudna for so long as this like abomination of her being undead and not really, you know, existing between the veils. So to have yeah, I was convinced that the Matron of Raven was going to be like, you're not good. You're a bastardization of what I represent. But the fact that she was like, yeah,
Maybe
I like you, kid.
Maybe that
was-
would have been a
was good.
reaction 30 years ago, but with everything that's going on, it's
You
like,
gotta use
that's
the
fair.
dang mask.
got to get it back from the cow first.
Get
I
back
got it
from
from
where?
him.
You got it back?
I got it from
Okay.
him.
Oh, yeah.
Imogen telekinetically pushed it into her
bullied it out.
hands. It was very
Well,
Yeah.
out of sand.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the right moment.
I think we could do 2 more rapidly.
Yeah,
rapidly.
I think
Let's go
so.
around a little quicker.
Answered it.
Talk about Durham. I'm gonna lose my shit.
Answered it. Talk to us about the relationship between Orm and Dorian.
Thank you.
You willed it into being. Their scene of confession and how they're doing in this new romance. Is it a romance yet? That's a good question.
Y'all have been
To me, it's only the possibility of the love. I think the love, the attraction. For my part, the passion is there. But like, to me, a romance requires the time to activate. And I think you said something beautiful when we first said that. It was like, what could have been if only we had more time, if only. And I think that's a beautiful place for love to begin and love to exist, because I feel like for a lot of people that's how unrequited or a lot of love stories sort of end up, is like, it was just never right. And sometimes you never find that. So, I mean, this is coming from someone who like I used to date my wife in college, and we didn't see each other for 7 years. Didn't talk. And now we're married and have 2 little babies. Like, for me, that's one of the things where it's like,
One of my favorite stories.
I
love it.
That's just, when you know it's your person, you know it's your person.
Yeah.
And you've always got something in the back of your head. And I think that's always been on my mind since episode 1 of EXU. And to be able to say it like open and freely, and to admit that this isn't the right time, it's not the right place, fucking figure it out later, was really freeing. I'm finally glad just to do it.
Yeah, I think they're still earning, and it's only going to be another 6 or 24 hours or whatever it's going to be. They're earning their way toward a reprieve from the insanity, and then they can, just like Vax and Keyleth, like it really depends on what happens in the next 12, 24 hours. But it goes back to EXU for me as well, and you never couldn't predict where the campaign were going to go, or if my other role player at the table would be even interested in following that thread with me or not. But I can remember, I knew that I wanted this story to be like Orm's, like wandering out of the woods and going like, can I start again? Was one of the things I wanted to sniff out. And I remember just randomly role playing in one of those EXU episodes where either you or Matt narrated, like I nestle up next to the other one. And so Dariax and Dorian were like nestled under a tree, and I had Orm was awake doing guard watch up in the tree. And all the way back then I was like,
I remember that.
not for me, but I wish.
I may not be able to visualize things in the moment, but that image is etched in my head too, from way early on, and I think that was the birth of it. And I think Dorian was like still finding his own freedom in a sense of literally being released into the world for the first. So I was exploring all sorts of options. I think for Dariax there was a moment there at a certain point, maybe, and other
game,
characters.
2 game, 3 game in, anything can happen.
Yeah, our first 4-sided die. Who do you have a crush on? And I said he got, some romantic vibes around the table from other things, though he never really. He kept a distance at it.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
What did I do wrong? What?
I was wondering.
What?
Because okay. Spill the tea. Because I was like, is he crushing on Imogen? Is he fucking crushing?
Are you crushing?
Imogen, that's interesting. It's good. I'm glad I know your ships.
Yeah, seriously.
What's your question, man?
No, no, you son of a bitch. Yeah. Should we guess?
Bold of you to think it's one person, and that was true, not just a red herring. Like there were other characters where, even though Orm was kind of always where my head was at, if another opportunity within the group had presented itself, I don't think Dorian would have shut it out, because he's there for the experience of life. So it was
Because I remember I thought you had a crush on Imogen for a minute.
maybe. You were the first one I princess carried, so.
That's right.
The fans hate it. They hate it. I want to break up your favorite ship. But no, it was always Orem. Yeah.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I answered my other questions, but I will just say how fun it was to jump back into Yasha.
Yeah.
I didn't have Yasha questions, which I'm okay with.
No, there was one. There is a question, I think, it might be a Marisha question, but it's for both of y'all. Where I talk
I'll give it
about
to you.
where it's a
Wait,
it's
where
a
is
Yasha
it?
and it's a
Oh,
Yasha.
Yasha and Abo?
Here, I'll lend you a question.
There was also a question about Ashton in there, or there should have been.
What were some of the, there is, and that is one question that I was like, should I answer this? I think I'm gonna wait.
That is totally fine. I'm glad that
I'm
you
gonna
told
wait.
the fans that you're gonna wait, so they don't think I didn't ask.
No. There is a question here about Ashton, but I was like, I need to figure some stuff out first. What were some of the dynamics that you two wanted to bring to Bo and Yasha's relationship 7 years later? Well, so much of that was so last minute.
Yeah, we were like, oh shit.
Because there was so much like,
have we
okay,
been
tonight you
doing?
guys are playing these characters, and tonight you're jumping in an M9, and
Yeah.
I think there was just like, there was a lot going on.
There's like
The past few games
So
of like figuring
with both
out.
of your graph paper relationships, it was last second. What are we?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like with Bo and Yasha, just it's so easy for me to slip in to just being in love with Bo.
Yeah.
Because I just love when Marisha gets in her just like just frustrated and like mad with everybody and just
every day.
yeah, I love it. I love like she's just
It's fair.
cute. I love her. So I don't know. It's easy to hop back into, and there's like a comfort in it too
Yeah.
of like the two of them and figuring out where their lives are gonna go and what their wants are gonna be. And there was a very last minute of like, wait, didn't we
end
say
up
one time?
adopting kids?
Yeah, didn't we say we were gonna adopt kids? Did we do it yet? And then
Yeah.
we were like, we can't just like decide that right now.
Yeah.
That's too quick.
Too weighty
Yeah.
of a decision.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it again.
But you can. You literally can. You could have just said, yeah. I mean, that's
We could have.
But we kind of brought it into the game where it feels like
We're still
that's
discussing it.
probably what Bo and Yasha have probably been discussing it for
Like,
7
babe, when things
years.
calm down, we can.
Yeah, when things, I think just after this winter solstice.
Yeah.
After
Yes.
this winter solstice.
Fast forward
Yeah,
20
let's
years
have
later to
it.
Palm
Yes.
Springs.
Yeah.
Remember when
They
we
have
were
been
going
saying
to
this
it?
every
Yes.
year on
After this
the hour.
solstice, we'll talk about it again. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. But it's so great. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, my last one. One last one for me, one last one for you, Marisha. As we move into the final phase of Bel's Hell's Prodothian journey, where is Orem landing on the God question? Where are they all right now? So I'll kick it off and you can jump in. Only in the last few episodes do I think that there is a little bit of waver or wiggle to Orem's thinking on it, just because of their meeting with the Archheart and the matron, and realizing that the gods are just as conflicted as the mortals are, that he now a little bit doubts that there is a 100% right answer. He knows that they have to stop Ludinus from doing what Ludinus wants to do. But he is only 95% sure they need to stop it all from happening instead of 100% sure. What about y'all?
Ooh, good question.
Before you get to your question.
Yeah. I think we'll find a time where we all it feels like such a cop-out, but I do think there will be a moment, the moment will present itself and we all go this is it, this is the right moment. And I've kind of said that a few times in game where it's well, we got to talk this out, we got to all be on the same page, we got to have a plan, and it's what plan? Plan for what? We don't even fucking know what we're walking into.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be an in-moment thing where we're just all going to trust in each other and know that it's right. Yeah, I think we'll all land on, it's going to have to be, right? Whatever we decide, it's going to have to be what's right.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Not if we pile rocks on top of that force cage.
Yeah, definitely
solved.
can't move.
I think Dorian shifted from sort of the opposite of a man of faith, like a little bit of a God hater, into his true, canonically chaotic, neutral self of a utilitarian. I think he'll do with whatever the gods that most benefit the people that he loves. Which is weighty when you say it out loud, that you're willing to sacrifice the gods for your mortal friendships. But I think that's where he's at, wherever it goes. If it means keeping him around, he'll stomach it. If it means getting rid of him, all the better, as long as the people that he cares for end up on the right side of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely utilitarian about it.
I just feel like Fern is just like, as long as my people are safe, the world could burn. Doesn't matter.
That feels like the one thing that we are, even if we have different flavors of it, it feels like all of Bell's Hells is kind of like, we're kind of the adventuring party, like, for the people. I feel like we've kind of always been that way a little bit.
Well, maybe that's the root of our consternation with this God issue, is that we have no objective way of determining of whether the gods are for the people. They're like, the arguments have been made that they're very self-interested, all of those things, and then arguments have been made that no, the gods are here to protect us, and they love you, and they want you to flourish, and they've given you all these powers. Why else would they do that? So I think that might be the source of our conflict, is are the gods for the people? Yeah, hard to say.
I think I get like torn too, because I think like regardless, just in like faith in real life, people need faith too. Like, even if we're like, well, fucking whatever, we can like have a godless world and keep doing what we've been doing this whole time. There are people in Exandria, like, it is undeniable that the gods are important to a lot of people in Exandria. So I think that has to be taken into consideration as well. In a way.
I think Orm treats it like that moment in Oppenheimer where they're about to do the test, and he says there's this % chance that will cause the end of the world. And they just don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what Orm worries about, but there's nothing to be done. There's no like sitting it out, because lewdness is going to wield it. So there's the only choice is to run toward lewdness and stop lewdness from whatever it is he thinks he's going to do.
That's heavy.
That's really heavy.
Yeah. I mean, that's been Orm the whole time, is like it's a question mark. No idea what releasing Predathos actually means on a tangible, forget about the gods, good, bad, help us, love us, a detriment to us. We don't know what the physical releasing of whatever Predathos is would do.
What that means.
And Orm is a soldier. I mean, he's a...
Well, you say man of the people. He's thinking of keeping the global population safe from extinction event.
The ultimate protector.
Hope we don't light the atmosphere on fire.
That part.
These are the last questions?
This is the last question.
This is the last question?
Yours.
I'm going to do a twofer, just once again, so that people know.
She's a twofer.
What does Laudna think of the Liliana situation? I mean, that's basically Laudna's mother-in-law. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we saved her. Obviously, there was a time where Laudna was not super stoked with Liliana, because she was like, you kind of abandoned your daughter, and I love your daughter, and so that fucking sucks. Once again, I don't think it's like too dissimilar than a spouse.
Most marriages.
Who has, I mean, you know, that's my partner, and what did your dad do? How many people have had that where you're like, I don't care if it's your father, he's being a fucking asshole right now. So yeah, she kind of had that, but I mean, obviously, I think she's come around a lot to Liliana, and I think especially after her situation with Delilah, I think has a little bit of a different understanding on the whole situation of getting like, kind of being trapped in a circumstance that's not necessarily of your own creation, and feeling that guilt from it as well. Last one. How is Keyleth doing with the return of Vax? We kind of touched on this one, but I feel like it'd be a good one to end on.
Me too.
To have him back, but only for one night, is both a blessing and a curse. Yeah, I mean, I guess just to, I don't know, clear the air or whatever. Yes, I was upset at the end of that episode. But I think I do want to paint it and like make sure everybody knows, you know, I'm not upset with the way the story or anything went. It is just because that is like how intense and real these like characters' feelings are in all of us. Like, it's silly to a certain extent where you're like, oh, this imaginary person has had such this like profound effect on my life. And it's not even like it's not driven from like a point of self-pity, if that makes sense. Like, it is not like, oh, Marisha feels bad with the way these circumstances are. Right. It truly is like, Keyleth is this whole other person who lives not just in my head, but in
all of our
everyone's heads now, like thousands of people's heads.
It's about 2,000, I think is the max.
Yes, 2,000. So when I think about like their situation, it is like this profound empathy and like sense of sadness for Keyleth as a person, which is, like I said, weird since she's, you know, birthed from my head. But it is like a very removed sense of like emotional connection. So that's where those feelings were coming from. And I think like Sam said it in our cool down. He was like, I think was the first one to say, I feel so bad for Keyleth. And it was like, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, damn, just either give her peace or give her resolution or give her her man back. And yeah, I don't want to say much at all. Liam and I have talked about it on like, we'll find that sense of resolution. We just don't know what that means yet.
Don't know what the landscape is.
Don't know what the landscape is.
But you know what's crazy? It's like you saying, like, yeah, it's wild to think about, you know, playing these characters. Obviously, it's fantasy. They're not real. But all of us have spent so much time together as those people.
We've lived the dynamics of those relationships.
Yeah, so they
real,
totally
yeah.
feel like I think at the end of that, I was just like, I know, like, Keyleth's story, but at the end of it, I'm just like, that's my friend hurting.
Yeah, exactly.
And like knowing that she has to go home alone tonight, clearly you don't. But
Right.
like thinking of
yes.
it, I'm just like, she goes at home alone at night and always holds a candle for this person that is just not gonna ever come back. Like, it kills me.
Yeah. Well, and Keyleth, I mean, and once again, I know we've all talked about this as a group. Like, she's definitely a very real allegory. I mean, not even an allegory. She is like a real example of like what a lot of grief can manifest as.
Yes.
And currently, she is kind of stuck in this worst case of grief, which is like the inability to move on.
Yes.
And that sucks.
It's tragic.
It's tragic.
It's also,
Yeah,
you know, but I'm not
very juicy.
But it's just like, God, what a story, you two.
I don't think
What a story.
I don't think it's weird at all to feel those feelings in a visceral way because, you know, again, outside looking in from what you guys have done, we started the night with poetry and lots of millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people had favorite poems and books and films and pieces of art that affect them on their day-to-day life that are basically cooked up in a vacuum until they make their way out into the world. And what's unique about what you guys do here is that those stories are alive currently every single day. And they're being crafted in the moment based on your own understanding of the characters. So for me, just watching it unfold, feeling the feelings of those characters is not only expected, but like what a blessing. How many people would love to have the opportunity to step in to be the protagonist of their own favorite book? And you know, that's a special kind of sadness that just feels earned and totally reasonable to me. Yeah.
We also all love happy endings. I love happy endings, but there's a reason why Medea and Romeo and Juliet and other works, tragedies, resonate 2,000, 3,000 years later.
Yeah, I mean, once again, we've talked about this, but I think we've all had our Hadestown kick. And at the very end of that show, they say, like, why do we tell this stories? We tell this story again. Like, the play ends with the way it begins, and it is a story of Eurydice and Orpheus. It is a story that has been told millions of times. And it's like, why tell it again? And it's like,
We're gonna sing it again.
we're going to do it again anyway, because. What's
Well, my favorite part of Hamlet too is when Hamlet comes back to life. He gets pooped out of an egg, and he's just a gooey baby. That's my favorite part of the Hamlet story.
Matrix! We did it! 3 for 3, baby!
We like art like that because it makes you feel so intensely that you learn about the human heart.
Yes. Yes.
And like stories like that, like you learn something different every time too. Like there's so many of my favorite, it's like, why do you watch your favorite movie again and again? You've seen it.
Air Bud, totally.
Fuck yeah. Is
Air
he
Bud.
gonna make that basket?
I'm more of
Gonna save the day.
More of a Golden
There's
Receiver
no
fan.
rule that says a dog can't play basketball.
Run to the clown or to the boy who loves him?
Yeah, which is he gonna pick? And now people recreate that exact same moment on Instagram every day.
I'm sorry, did I derail your final point?
Nope, that was my point. We tell the same story again and again.
Well, buds, that's it for the deep dive, which means we're almost done with this four-sided dive. But before we go, it's time for one more round of questions from the Tower of Inquiry.
we're gonna move around.
Campaign 3, surprise! Get up there, Daymond.
One last time.
Let's go!
I'm ready.
Oh, I was pontificating over here, thinking
Drive it like
it was
you
gonna
stole
be
it.
like.
I'm gonna same-side it. This one is tight.
This is
I
the last. This is the last one-sided dive.
Ah!
Oh my goodness!
37.
Here we go. Let's fucking go.
That was a good year.
Everyone's gonna pull one.
Mr. Person.
Good day.
Many characters will at some point reach a major crossroad where taking one direction or the other determines their path forward.
Shut up,
Class, personality, etc.
Does he choose the clown
Football or basketball?
or the kid? Yeah.
Pick a sport, bud.
He truly does not. That's all of us. Y'all had me crying over there, and now I can't even get through this question. Fuck y'all.
Air Bud is bittersweet.
It's a beautiful story about the love between a boy and his dog.
You don't have to win state to make it. That's not what matters. How'd you play?
Please look
Mr.
back.
Mr. Person, what was
Mr.
the question?
Person.
Please look back on one such crossroad for any of your characters and tell us who they would be if they'd gone the other way.
Oh.
Look at your crossroads. Starring Britney Spears.
At the crossroads, so you don't get lonely.
Well, man, I'll throw a big one on the table. What would have happened if I hadn't decided at the early in campaign 1, well, I guess I'm just going to trade in my character so that Laura can keep playing hers. Like, it would have affected the tenor of everything. Probably in the tomb.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If we're talking all 3 campaigns.
Like, me spur of the moment, and that moment was just like, shit, Laura's really sad. She's going to lose her character. I don't want her to do that. I'll lose my character. It's fine. Domino, 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 domino. Black marble.
I was pretty bullish in campaign 2 about sacrificing Bo with Sharnai, with the hag, and then Queen Laura Bailey came in with the dust of forgetfulness in the muffin.
Those cakes.
You want the cupcake?
But I was, yeah, I was pretty stern on relinquishing myself for the greater good. Yeah.
Crossroads.
Probably when I picked up that phone call from Marisha Ray around December of 2020 or whenever
Honestly,
that was. I was like, what are you calling? I was in my car. I was like, who's this?
Yeah.
No.
Great answer.
That's a great
Great answer.
And that's why we got Dink.
Oh, dick face question. Get out of here. No, I think there was a serious moment where Dorian could have just walked off into the sunset with Dariax. Believe it or not, when after that whole thing went down and he was just like, "We're at town. What do we do next?" If he hadn't white fanged him, I
Yeah.
consider.
Go out of here. Get out of here.
Oh, no, you can't. I thought about it. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Just never would have jumped. Just be like, that's
Never
it.
coming
I'm
back.
good. I like
Yeah.
you guys, but not that much.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Is it when you booked the job on Blind Spot?
I mean, if we're taking that route,
Also kind of a point, though.
also kind of a point, because that honestly would have been such a crazy game changer. Because I literally would have been here full. I mean,
Who knows?
that's a life. That's a life crossroads. That
Yeah.
You also
Who knows?
booked that role like,
weeks before we started.
yeah, what was it? Like 2 weeks, 3
Yeah.
weeks before we started streaming.
Yeah.
Like we were geared up and you were like, well, fuck. Which
We're
is crazy.
Yeah, which is totally crazy.
Yeah, wild.
It was in one of the Goonies that moment. I remember.
You're gonna come live with me now.
Oh shoot! I had just forgotten one. I thought of one, and then that one took
Zowie.
over. No. That was a. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
That was a big cross. I don't think anything that I say is going to be much
Better than that.
more of a change than that.
Guess you better pull a brick then.
I'll go pull a brick down.
I will also to jump off of your Vax throwing the caution to the wind with Laura. I would say the even bigger question. I feel like the way that you played Vax, he was always going to choose that for Vax. My bigger question is if he had not chosen to go with the matron after he was disintegrated by the Whispered One. If he had chosen to wait for Keyleth to see if she could bring him back instead of taking the matron's offer to make him a revenant. I just feel like that's another one. That's one I think about all the time. Just like, man.
It would have been a whole other story deep dive of like trying to get a true resurrection.
Yeah, because y'all would have had to go try to find those diamonds.
Yeah.
In my mind, I mean, like anyone can play anything any way they want, but in my mind, the promise had already been made.
Yeah, for sure.
There was no veering off of it. I committed to the bit, and that's how I've looked at it the whole time. Like, do I wish they had had a happy ending? Part of me does. Forever will wish that he got to sunset. At the end of that, I can't listen to Tokyo Sunrise and hold it together, but I really just felt like I was following the breadcrumbs as they led, and I don't feel like there was any veering off of it.
Tokyo Sunrise. It's an amazing song by LP that I put on my third Keyleth playlist, I think, in honor of Vax and Keyleth.
Good song.
It's a great song. Very tragic.
Fitting.
Gorgeous song.
Second Bell Sal's playlists? Any point?
Pull a brick, Ashley Johnson.
I did.
What'd you get? 13. Oh,
Lucky number 13.
Oh,
Spooky.
I'm not putting it up because Robbie didn't put it.
oh, do them both.
Yeah.
No!
Come on. We'll do it
gonna-
together.
Oh no, what if a tower
Well,
falls?
hang on a minute.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Last one ever.
Oh my God. What?
Take that.
Why?
Take that.
Raymond.
Take that. There's
Okay.
no more rules anymore.
Make a
That's
tea.
true. That's true. Let's get freaky.
Oh, you
Yes, do
Yes,
it. Oh, I'm
do
so
it.
excited right now.
Honestly,
Come on.
Yes.
what happens if just those two fall?
Let's go. Now we're
Okay.
playing games.
Okay.
I started in a really bad spot for this.
That is very stressful looking. I can't even
really
look over
upset.
there.
Number 13 from Valnar. Which NPC from Exandria would you like to play in a slice of lifestyle spin-off campaign? Facts of Life.
Life spin-off campaign.
Been there, done it. Serkonos, baby.
That's kind of true. Slice of Life spin-off campaign. Oh. What's the name of the smut peddler?
Oh, Iva?
Iva.
My girl?
Yes, your
Hey,
girl.
If you want to read more about Iva's adventures,
Yeah.
Chronicles of Exandria Volume 2, The Mighty Nine, is coming soon.
Yeah.
And it's real good. You'll learn how she and Yusa became pen pals.
Yeah, that's
It's real
right.
cute.
I'll be
Anyway.
her. I'll just deal
Iva's great. She's
with
the best.
horny middle-aged women every day.
I feel like Estros had like a rich.
Yeah.
I feel like he had a ball
Yes,
in life.
give him his own like Frasier sitcom.
Oh my God, yeah. But
Amazing.
he's low key doing
Yes.
cool shit on the weekends though, for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
Constantly is hiring like a new assistant who is trying to survive in his house full of death traps.
Oh, it's like a Spinal Tap, like they're always dying
Yeah,
every
yeah.
episode. Spinal Tap, 1974.
Speaking to the youths.
They know that this goes to 11?
Back to LinkedIn.
Honestly, everyone should watch Spinal Tap. I stand by that.
So good.
Ooh, you got a favorite NPC you want to see?
I'm thinking. I mean, I always go back to Victor because I just love Victor so much. But I mean,
He's
what
great.
would? That's just because I like Matt doing that voice.
Yeah.
Like a Joey-esque show starring Gaz Tomo.
Oh my God, Gaz Tomo.
And like maybe, depending on what happens in the next 24 hours, he ends up on Exandria, and it's just like him, fish out of water,
Yeah.
learning about the Blue Promise.
Yeah.
What's this
Or like Devexian becoming a real boy type of a thing.
That's fun.
Like being his own man or being his own, whatever. And
Dude.
Some person.
Now I'm thinking of Daz having like a born yesterday type of like stumbling
that is
through,
Gaz's.
just discovering what the Blue Promise has to offer. It's a good show.
Chocolate in the peanut butter?
Yeah.
Do like a buddy comedy with him and the guy who pulled the wish card.
Oh, yeah.
That
Presley.
idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Just double idiots.
Yeah.
Just a little
What's your
dumb and
name?
dumber action.
You're with me.
I thought you were with me.
Oh my God.
Okay, we did pull.
There's something there.
I feel like you created the show, so I'm gonna pull a block, and then you'll pull the final block.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
But like the thing is, if it falls like this, should there be consequences?
Yes.
Yeah.
Consequences in the box, babe.
All right.
But what happens if
Oh,
touched
it is
it.
wiggling,
No,
baby.
you touched it.
Oh my God, it is wiggles.
Just
If you-
because Laura said it out
No,
loud doesn't
no,
mean it's true,
those are
guys.
the rules. If you touch it, you got to take it out.
Oh, look at that
Oh
thing
my
wiggle,
God.
baby.
Damn, girl.
I hate looking at
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Come on, baby.
Why
Do it.
are we doing
Let's
that?
go.
21 blackjack.
This is why
21.
you wanted
I
me
don't
to
like
pull
it.
ass.
Sure.
Yeah.
But also, you created the show.
All right, Captain Locke. When do you start connecting campaign story and character history when creating new characters before start of a campaign? Does it go hand in hand, or do you first create the characters and then find their place in the story?
That one.
it. Yeah.
I think of the story the kind of character and the story I want to tell, and then I figure out where it fits into our universe.
Yeah, I would say for our main campaigns, that's how it is for the core group. Guests who come on obviously have a different experience because they're going to be a little bit more of the former, where they're kind of trying to figure out where they fit in and what makes sense. But it doesn't mean that that has to dictate their personality or what class or anything that they play. And then I would also say, like, an extension of that, it's a little bit different as well when it comes to, say, calamity or downfall. Because then once again, you kind of come to the table with an assignment.
Yeah, it's been so different.
Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
guys knew you were playing gods.
Yeah.
in Downfall.
Right,
So
I would
that
say
was
with a
little
longer
bit-
campaign, you're going to be living in that for a really long time. So I work on that very carefully. But for shorter run things, there's so many different factors, like what's needed, what's a muscle I can stretch that I haven't done for a super long campaign.
Yeah.
So I do something different than my other stuff.
It feels like reverse character study for theater, since we talked so much about theater today, right?
Yeah.
Usually you get the text and it's informative, they're their choices in the moment, and then if you're one of those actors, you can then go back and create an imaginary backstory that motivates you throughout that, if you're not just an off-the-page kind of person. And this is the opposite. You make up the backstory, and then you get thrust into the theater, and then the plot unfolds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting.
then you're just kind of reacting in real time.
Yeah.
Because, like with Calamity, with Pesha, Brennan had kind of spit out a bunch of lore. And I told him, I was like, oh, well, I want to be a Kennedy. It's basically exactly what I said. And so I was like the granddaughter of, of the guy. So, anyway, it's a little bit different every time.
Yeah, it's kind of different every time.
There you go.
Oh, get it.
Yeah.
Pull that block.
Get it. Pull that block. Pull that block.
Feel it.
All right, here.
Oh, that is so. It is wobbly.
Yeah,
at this
that is
like fucking-
not fun to look at. That's stressful.
What is that? Never mind.
Where are we going with that?
I don't know.
You could do
You
it.
got this.
I
mean, you
can't
could
even
do an
watch.
easy one, or
You could also just deck the tower.
I know.
tower.
I thought about it. I'm like lightheaded. Nope.
oh, that was
Oh,
good.
that is a bold move.
Oh, look at it jiggle! Look at it go! Yes. Oh.
What's the number?
Build.
Oh, 31.
31.
Build.
I kicked it.
Go for it.
I kicked the bar.
God, I don't even want to look at this.
Star-crossed lovers, make that crisscross.
Oh, God.
Come on.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Come on.
Hey!
Yes! Okay.
I like it. Pin up.
Ta-da!
Pin up. Yeah!
Look what you made! I did this.
Don't you do it! Not for the Lord!
Dissonant Fae on Beacon Discord asks, the Matron of Ravens had the imp Slitch held in a glass amulet on Downfall. If your character could have any creature held in a glass amulet to bamf out at any time, what would it be? Trinket doesn't count. He also has a glass amulet to bamf out at any time.
Dang.
Any creature.
Any creature.
Ooh. An evil cat.
Does that count?
Can we know what the wait?
So scam.
Let the consequence go right ahead.
Yeah, I was
Like chaos rain.
Open the box. What's in the box?
Should Danny take the consequences?
Yes!
I've never had a consequence ever.
Ever in your life?
You've also
Ever.
never done anything.
We're gonna take this consequence.
All right, well, first you have to answer about the glass bubble.
Okay.
Okay. Any creature in a bamf out.
Any creature.
I just want my dog Yaga.
Oh.
I just want my little baby.
That's a good one.
I would pick an emotional support dog.
Yeah, I just want my dog. I want her right here so that I can give her
at all
some
times.
Damn. That's a good
Any
answer.
creature.
Oh, yeah.
All
Yeah.
fantasy.
Back my buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or Grog.
That's
Fix all my problems.
technically a creature.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'd almost want it to be a little funny though, like an emotional support fish.
That's good.
And you like bamf it out and it like flaps around. And then I'm like, okay, I'm
You throw it off a cliff, maybe.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah. Like
Easy. Air Bud. Doesn't matter the sport. He's gonna be a good time.
He can play every sport. He's
Of
so
course.
good at it.
He's airbud.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, basketball playing dog in a locket. I think we solved it. So thank you, Mr. Person, Valnar, Captain Locke, and Dissonant Fae. And if you have a question for our pile of inquiry, you're SOL.
Before we move on, our consequence, which I think is just to make Kyle feel better about himself. Whomever destroys the Tower of Inquiry in episode 30 of Four-Sided Dive must say 5 nice things about Four-Sided Dive.
Oh, wow!
Well, there is 5 of us. We could split
There
the
are
duty.
5. I think that's right. We all get to say one nice thing about this show.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to do some research
I didn't get a stocking. Do I count?
Yeah, you count. Wait, you didn't? You knocked it over.
Share the load of this weighty task.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult task to say 5 nice things about our show.
Can I take the snowman out?
Yeah. He can be your friend.
You gonna get him?
What do you
Get him. Release him.
The snowman or the Santa?
That's not a snowman. That's Santa.
That is Santa.
I know my holidays stuff.
Who wants to start?
One.
Wait, this is looking like
5
it's
nice
I
things.
believe in you.
You just have to say one though.
1.
Yeah, we're gonna split the load.
From the cradle to the grave, I was here for 1. I was here for 30. Glad to see you born. Glad to see you die. Not true.
Tell us how you really feel. It was just Robbie. You shit on my questions. You shit on the show.
I love you, Dave.
How's your friend? How's your friend there?
Look at him.
Look at his tum
Him got a tummy ache. What's the matter, sir?
What if he just turned to you?
I would throw it, and I would run.
What is your nice thing about Four-Sided Dive?
Oh, it's been fun. What did you say, Kyle? What did you say?
It's been fun. Actually stole it. They come up with 2 other things.
Wait, did someone else say it and I wasn't paying attention because I was busy with Santa?
Just fun.
Pretty broad.
It's just
Pretty broad.
Liam, you're thoughtful.
I'll say that that a lot of us are hard workers, and we're constantly like thinking and planning and building and doing and performing and role playing. And what's nice about this show is that we get to kind of just come and shoot the shit, and there's a little less pressure to like do a triple Lutz, and I just like hanging out with you guys on the show. But just you 3, the rest I could do without.
I agree with that.
But in seriousness,
Yeah.
it actually it is really fun a lot of the time to talk about things that we don't get to in the game when you're like, well, I need to like explain myself.
yes, for sure.
Like it's therapeutic. It's nice. It really has been fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I tease too, but yes, the long form hangout podcast is a vibe, and I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Is that Four-Sided Dive?
Everybody help! he knows MMA.
Danny, you go, and then I'll close it out.
Okay, all right, executive producer, who is my
Yes.
boss. I would say my favorite thing is getting to work with Kyle Shire on making the show for y'all every single month and getting to collaborate with him. He is one of the most brilliant people that I truly know, and that I count as a friend and a wonderful coworker. I love, love, love getting to make this with him and getting to make each other laugh. He makes me laugh constantly with his ideas for this, and really the whole show has just been us making each other laugh. So, and really you guys were just kind of third on the list.
Yeah, baby.
I was trying. Oh, yeah.
You trying to pick my nose?
I was trying to. Yeah, a little bit. I was trying to boop you. No.
You're a little bit of a boop.
Yeah, no, this is, a lot of people commented and were like, why doesn't Danny just hang out behind the bar? It's 'cause of this. Because if you look at Marisha and Liam in their standard form, it's just my boobs. I'm very short. The whole show will just be this.
guy.
Amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Is that the
This
fifth
isn't a
thing?
cop-out.
That's
No,
the
I
fifth
have
thing.
the last thing. I have the last thing.
Danny's boobies.
This isn't a cop-out, but it's kind of jumping off of what Danny said. There was so much about this show that was a bit of a scramble. We wanted to mix it up. So we were trying to be very experimental. I want to say a massive thank you to our audience who gave us that grace. I know some people didn't like it. I don't care. We had reasons. We had reasons from top to bottom of why we did this show the way we did this show. I do think the format ended up growing on people over time. And so I am a firm believer in like as a creative director and just creator in general, you can't always come out with the final product. And if anything, I think that is like a massive detriment to creativity. Because if you keep trying to come up with what you think is the final iteration of something, oftentimes you'll never release anything. Creativity often has to happen inside of a box, and you work with your format, you work with your limitations, you work with what you have. And so when we started Four-Sided Dive, so much of it was an experiment, and it remained an experiment from episode 1 to episode 30. We tried new things, we tossed out new ideas, we mixed it up, and I love that about the show. We did some incredible bits. We had some incredible guest hosts. We had people come in. We had some cold opens. Some crushed, some flopped. But we were always empowered, and of course, and same that Danny already said, have to give a shout out to Kyle Shire. Four-Sided Dive has been his baby from top to bottom. He wrote so many of the bits. He wrote all the bits. He wrote all the bits.
Here, Kyle, come here.
Come here, Kyle.
Here. This
Come
is me.
here.
Get out here.
Come on, Kyle, this is your earbud moment.
This is your Airbud moment.
Can you see my tits?
Yes,
Yes,
they look good. It's really good.
All right, cool. All right, wonderful. Love you too.
But yeah, I hope it came through. I wanted you to like continue to experiment. It didn't have to be the same every time. You know, we always tried to find the format and find what works best. And yeah,
I'm really,
crushed it.
I don't think you guys can hear me, but I'll speak up.
Talk to
my boobs.
I'll talk to you. Thank you guys for giving me a playground to play in and whatnot. I really appreciate it, and thank you for all the trust. I hope I didn't make you guys act a fool too many times.
No, it was amazing. You're and he's gone.
My opinion.
Went
And
away.
he's gone.
Left.
Chapter finally engaged.
Yeah, this I think that is the perfect actually encapsulation of it. This show, for the past 3 years, has been our playground, and I love it for that. And yeah, it's had some incredible moments. There have been moments on this show that I have laughed so hard I peed a little. And so yeah.
That stain is.
Oh, no, it wasn't this episode.
Chairs will have to be replaced. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's been great. It's been good times.
Oh man, I want to thank everyone here. Marisha Ray, Ashley Johnson, Robbie Daymond, Danny Carr, our lore keeper, Kyle, the entire crew. I'm Liam O'Brien, your 30th tavern keeper. And I guess this is our outro.
Friends around the table, time to celebrate. It's a party, hit the lights, here we go. Waste the night away with a little escape. It's a chance to lose control. So let's just leave this world behind. Everybody come on, take a dive. One by one we roll the dice, come on. Critical role. Pour another round, your friends are here to cheer you on. Throw it back, it's good times all night long. Critical role. No way to lose when you're having this much fun. It's your turn. No way to lose when you're having this much fun.
Okay, we're going.
Oh God!
One more. Okay.
Yay!
No, we're here. There's Broomy. He gets in there somewhere.
Wow, wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.